Get ready to rumble.
That's copyrighted though.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
No, as long as you acknowledge who it is.
Oh.
In the words of the great, use that. As long as you don't charge for it.
Not too far away now. The first fight's going to be an absolute banger.
Well, a very warm welcome this afternoon to the New Zealand 118th New Zealand Boxing Championships being held at the beautiful city of Porirua, just north of Wellington. I'm Brent Perry, and of course joining me is Isaac Savage. Isaac, we've had an amazing couple of days of amateur boxing, and this is only going to get better.
Oh, it's been stacked, and thanks, Brent. Without a doubt, we are going to see future world champions forged in this tournament today with over 16 fights, 2 semi-finals, finals. Get ready to see the best of the best in New Zealand.
And of course, we're going to head straight down to our ringside announcer and get the game underway. We've got 16 bouts for you this evening, and we hope you're going to enjoy it because we are with Sky Sport Next. Let's go down to Vinny.
Boxers and officials to ringside, please.
And while the boxers are coming out, on behalf of the chairman, Keith Walker, and President Steve Hartley, we do welcome you to this coverage with Sky Sport Next for the 2020 Amateur National Championships. Well, we might as well get this in nice and quick. The reason it is 2020, COVID. So these championships had to be held over until everything was safe to go.
But that means 2 events this year.
It means 2 events this year. The next one will, of course, be up in Whanganui. This is going to be a pearler of a fight.
I can't believe it. We're starting off the card. This Wendell Stanley there in the red, Marion there in the blue.
And Wendell's youth national champion, of course, Golden Gloves for 2017,
Ladies
18,
and gentlemen,
and 19.
the following is a semi-final bout contested in the welterweight 69 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Wendell Stanley. And in the blue corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Marion Faustino Artong.
Marion Artong is no slouch either. Of course, he was a Samoan national champion.
And like we commented on earlier, it's almost like he's brought half
Your
the
referee
crowd
is
here tonight.
Greg Weening.
Certainly supporting their boy Marion. You know what I love about this fight too? We've got totally different fight styles. Stanley there in the red, the taller. Marion a little bit shorter. Let's see if Stanley can get on the, or keep Marion on the outside.
And of course, these are 3-minute rounds. So they're just going to be sizing themselves up, of course. Marion is a southpaw up against an orthodox with Wendell Stanley.
Like I said earlier, Wendell Stanley has the reach. He's going to have to keep him at bay, but it's going to be made a little bit more difficult for Marion being the southpaw and very quick, a very quick fighter.
Still just sizing themselves up. I think that the reach of Wendell Stanley...
Beautiful counter there, though, from Marion.
Yeah, when we first saw him, he was able to get himself off those ropes and come in and get out very, very quickly.
Well, he just feinted with the right hook, and usually you feint with the jab, but to feint with the right hook like that. Some impressive stuff here from Marion. He's certainly got the crowd support. Marion on the blue. Wendell Stanley, no stranger to danger as well, winning multiple Auckland champs. Man in the red there, the taller fighter of the both.
It's absolutely fantastic too with the amount of support these young boxers are getting, and the crowd. Well, both of them are from the Auckland region, so maybe their loyalties are split somewhat. But of course, the clubs that they're fighting for, it's the province, not the gym that they're out of.
Well, Marion's certainly got a larger crowd support here, but everyone watching back in Auckland will surely be excited. The crowd's starting to warm up now. Both these boys warm up as well. This is the 3-3. Just under halfway now for round one.
Yeah, I think Wendell Stanley's going to sort of try and get that reach to sort of come in a little bit more. He's got the height. And Marion Artong, he's no shorter. He's sitting at 6 foot.
He's got that experience, you know, a 2019 Pacific Games medalist, also a 2018 Oceania Youth Championship finalist.
Starting to warm up a little bit more as we get into the first round. As I say, we've got 16 other bouts to come for you this evening. We're queued up our arena here in Porirua.
Beautiful shot there from Marion. Settles to the back of the head there from Wendell, but the speed from Marion will be what wins this if he has to proceed to the final.
Crowd started to get a little vocal, which is fantastic. They've been going hard for the last two and a bit days. We hope you're enjoying the coverage here on Sky Sport Next. And tomorrow, of course, we've got a huge day, but we're not going to sort of jump the gun on what we're seeing right now.
Well, you can sense too from the crowd, these fights. Steve mentioned earlier, it's only going to start ramping up from here out. 10 seconds.
The way that Mario had his hands down really low at that, but he did that yesterday as well.
Yeah, holding the guard low, maybe trying to show to Wendell that you know, your power ain't hurting me. It's not much, and he can hold his guard down. But you've got to be careful because Wendell can still throw. Very slick movement here though from Marion, and yeah, you're right. He was holding that guard down there at the end.
And of course, Wendell trying to pin him up against the ropes, using that accentuated height he's got, even though it might only be 2 or 3 inches, but he appears to have that reach in his arm length anyway.
Certainly got the height advantage and reach. Getting some words from Cam here in the corner. Wendell Stanley. Such a great semi. You know, you could always even call this one a final.
Seconds out, round 2.
But one of these boys will go through to the final tomorrow evening. Round 2, 3-3s. Both boys starting fairly patient, very conservative compared to some of what we've seen. But it just goes to show the level and calibre.
Yeah, but
boxing skill.
Yeah, and he's dropping himself down a little bit lower, so it's making Wendell having to work a lot harder because he's getting lower on.
You might have to reach, but Mario's certainly got great experience and he can counter with the speed and that southpaw stance.
Bit of a shout out, of course, to the Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, who are actually hosting this event here in Porirua. Done a wonderful job with the organisation. It's just been flowing beautifully.
Bit of a shot there from Wendell. Did not hold that guard too low, Mario, because Wendell might catch you. You know, he needs to get that guard up, not get too lazy. Because Wendell does have a bit of power in those guns.
And also the fact he moves so quickly off that back foot, he comes forward. He's got that sort of inertia of weight coming.
And it's not certainly someone you do want to drop the guard with, and it could come back to bite him. Let's see if he can push forward and start taking it little bit more aggressive now because Wendell's starting to edge up the points in this fight.
Now remember, these boxers themselves fighting now. You'd think it was then to be their final, but they're going to be back in the ring. One of these boys is going to be back in the ring tomorrow.
Wendell up and away, comes skipping back in, starting to find a bit of confidence. He knows he's finding his range. Nice little body shot there.
It really is concerning me that Marion is just keeping those hands down. He could just walk into a Stanley punch and it's going to put him in a heap of pain.
Well, he's doing well. He's holding his own. He's taken a few flush shots, but still hasn't gone down. So, bit of a testament to say I can stand in there and bang with you. But he is getting caught from time to time, which will go up on the scorecards.
Wendell Stanley pushing him back towards the ropes, closing, making that ring very, very small.
There was a beautiful sign too of the reach advantage. He stepped in with the jab, stepped back out. Marion couldn't even close the distance quick enough. Just goes to show how tall Wendell Stanley is. All he needs to do is take a half step back and he's already out of range of Marion.
As I say, Marion Artong is an Olympic finalist at the Youth Commonwealth Games, and also, of course, the national champions in Samoa in his weight division.
Another skip and hop there from Wendell. We do need to ask him about this if we do get an interview of him, what that's about. Maybe it shows he's comfortable, he's having fun. 10 seconds to go now. Another good round. Beautiful work here from Wendell. Starting to slightly edge forward. Wants to take this home. Wants to get through that final, but we'll see. Marion, you know, he's a bit of a dark horse. He's a southpaw. He needs to push forward harder in the third and final.
And of course, with live Sky Sport Next being live out to not only just New Zealand, and so we are getting contact from people watching it at the moment, but we've also got an international following, and we'd like to sort of send one out to De Boer Consensus, who is the public relations person for Asia Boxing, and he contacted us yesterday late afternoon from Hungary. So this is being...
A big shout out to all those watching, whether you're in Kaitaia, King Country...
Seconds out, round 3.
East Coast. We thank you all for tuning in live here now on Sky Sport Next.
Make or break time, boys. This is it. You've got 3 minutes to see who's going to get through to the finals tomorrow.
You're right, this is the money round, as they say. Who wants this more? Wendell Stanley slightly probably up on points, just landing a few more. Marion really needs to turn up the heat now.
And I'm sure his corner have said exactly the same thing. You know, try and control the centre of the ring. Don't get yourself locked into those ropes. And as I say, he is a southpaw.
What we're seeing too with a few fighters is the southpaw orthodox does come with some challenges, but Wendell taking it all in his stride tonight, walking forward using that reach.
Nice little clip on the chin. You know, we were talking to Lawrence Tito earlier in the previous session. He was saying sometimes when you're fighting a taller boxer, you've got to change your game very quickly. You can't, if it's not working, have plan B, and if that's not working, jump to C.
Yeah, it was great to hear from him. And
don't muck around.
You'll see a lot of that, and we have been seeing that the fighters experiment with the feint, use a few combos. If it doesn't work, they'll go through to something else, and don't use it too much, as you know, the other fighter will find out about it.
And with a couple of minutes to go, complacency is not your friend. You can't just sit back and pick up, might have this, I've got to keep fighting. And I think that's what Wendell's trying to explain to his opponent at the moment. You think you've got this? I haven't.
The reach, though, of Wendell is incredible. You know, he only has to throw, he's throwing his punches at a normal rate, yet Murray has to move forward that much more just to get inside.
Being told by a referee, don't put the weight on the head.
Nice body shot there from Wendell, just finding those shots at that reach.
Of course, being amateur, these referees are watching every bit, making sure that they follow the skill of the game. It's a boxing match, not a wrestling match.
2 minutes out, 1 minute to go. Marion trying to do his best now to keep out of bay of those shots. Beautiful shot there, doing a bit of an Ali shuffle.
Yeah, see this
Right hook.
ducking and diving, but he's...
Keep that guard up, keep that head up. He's shaking his head saying these shots aren't hurting, but Wendell Stanley certainly put scores on doors with the work rate.
The fight will go the distance, but I'm happy to say that as a cup
10
of tea
seconds.
battling sort of guy, Wendell Stanley, to me, has definitely shown that he's ahead on this.
Bit of a tongue poke out there as they finish. For the third and final, Wendell Stanley looking very confident as he walks back to the corner.
Yeah, I think so too.
Great performance there from Marion.
As we've moved up the grades, if you notice that we haven't had a lot of split decisions in the first session of today. It's been sort of some we thought would go split, but proved us wrong.
Well, like Lawrence said earlier, flip a coin at times. You know, we're only watching up here. It's different from what they see down there ringside. And you never want it always to go to the judge's decision. Here we go now for the judge's decision.
Yep, that little piece of paper, both boxers are wanting to have their corner named on it. So we'll drop down to Vinny. He'll make the announcement of who's going to take out this first one, which is the welterweight, 69 kg. All over to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the blue corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Marion Faustino
Obviously,
Artong.
he'd done enough. Marion, those dance moves at the end, he felt confident. He felt like he'd landed enough to take away the win and go through to the final tomorrow night.
Wow.
The crowd are happy. There might be some people out there that are not happy, but this is what the judges decided, and Marion is through to the final.
And well, as you say, the judges may be seeing something that we are different. There are 5 judges scoring these fights. And just an update here, our next fight was is now being called a walkover. Dominic Rowe unable to compete for this one. So I think this is where you hold your breath, because the next, I don't know, 10 fights are all shorter in time. They're only 1.5 minutes, but 3 rounds, of course.
Slight dropping.
Yep, these are the cadet males. And first up, we'll have Finbar O'Sullivan. And very shortly, we have a special guest coming up to join us as well.
Looking forward to that. Hey, like you said, blink and miss. These are 3 1.5s. These guys coming up 40 kilograms. One of the lightest was seen. But they are like pocket rockets. They're going to throw down. It's going to be an absolute fireworks display for the final here.
It's like, if you can just imagine one of those toys that you sort of crank up and they come running out. And they
Ladies
just go
and gentlemen,
non-stop, flat out.
The following is a finals bout contested in the cadet male 40 kilo division. In the red corner, representing South Auckland Boxing Association, Finbar O'Sullivan. And in the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Motekiai Huni.
And young Huni, he's...
Your referee is Tau Lomu.
He's had 2 Australian Golden Gloves, both in 2018 and 19, plus 2 New Zealand Golden Gloves, again 19 and 2020 up in Tupou.
Yeah, Horny, certainly no stranger to age of 2020, Central North Island champ against...
Just letting those viewers at home with the Sky Sport Next, there is a problem with our lighting. We don't know what's happened in the stadium, but our technical crew, or the Stadia crew here, will be straight into it and sort it out. So let's watch these pocket rockets get into it.
Like you said, 40 kilograms, 1.5. Huni there in the blue, Finbar in the red, and this is for the New Zealand title. Who's going to take it home?
Yeah, all our bouts for the rest of this evening are all finals. So these boxers know that this is it. They've only got to go hard out for 3 rounds, and they can take away their first New Zealand title.
Both boys keeping relatively busy here.
Finbar out of the Pacific Boxing Academy in Auckland. Goes to St Peter's Boys College. He's also 2 times New Zealand wrestling champ.
Wow. There you have it. You know, that's the thing with some of these guys. They do other sports. We had a few jiu-jitsu champs and other people doing Ironmans, marathons. She's all go now as Finbar, though, starts throwing down. I do like the way Huni moves, but Finbar is very consistent with those straightforward punches.
You know, you keep talking power to weight. I mean, these guys might be little, but relative, their punches are still going to hurt.
Oh, 100%. But he threw a hook then. And the movement as we now go to the 10-second clapper, that's how quick these rounds go.
Yeah, young Huni, he's described his style as a switch hitter.
Always good to see. And let's see if he does switch it up against the orthodox fighter, Finbar. Do like the way he moves. Pretty slick for such a young age. The way he's throwing power into those jabs, stepping with the foot movement, whereas Finbar is just walking forward, going for the hits. No nonsense style.
Well, his pedigree's amazing. I mean, his brother is a 5 times Australian champ. Sister, she was a 2018 Commonwealth Games representative, and his cousin is a World Youth and Current number 2, the heavyweight in the Australian Pro Champs.
I don't want to see an argument in that family. They'll just get out the gloves, go in the backyard.
Yeah. And don't argue with your mum.
Hey, that's a golden rule anyway.
Seconds out, round 2.
These rounds are absolutely flying by. You know, we're going into round 2 now. Pretty busy round from both boys in the first one. I'd put Finbar slightly ahead, but it's anybody's game.
Look at him sprinting into the middle, young Finbar.
Nice straightforward punches there. You know when the shot's a good shot too, when it rocks the head back like that. A couple of deflecting punches there. Nice shot then again from Huni. Beautiful guard from Finbar as well. You know, real tight, strong guard. Good parries, not letting Huni get in with any of those punches, which is amazing for such a young fighter.
Yeah, he boxed at the Golden Gloves in Tupou. He's representative, of course, of the Central North Island. Comes out of Rota Vegas, or Rota Varua.
Hey, that's what the locals call it. It's all right.
Absolutely.
Nice little left hook there, and a right followed up by Huni.
Finbar's quite happy to come in and just mix it up. He's not taking a backward step.
Well, you've got to love that approach. Like I said, he's no nonsense, but you can see some of the slick movement. You know, he switched then, and he's got that advantage over Finbar. He is a bit more slick, considering his age. He's almost got a Mayweather style going on here, and it's incredible to see if he's like this at this age.
Looks like our lighting's come back on, so apologies to our viewers. Just got a little bit dark for a while. Not so much in the stadium, but I think it was just more for the camera boys.
Another busy round from both boys. This is the final, so they are thrown down. Round 2.
So as I say, the next 8 or so fights are all 1.5 minute rounds. The last 4, they'll go back up to 2 minutes. And then, of course, tomorrow, when the big
all go again.
It's going to be a couple of great matchups, because the fighting that we had sort of in the earlier session of the day, these boys have got to get, a 24-hour recovery
Well, they'll be icing up, they'll be getting in the sauna, and they'll be relaxing, ready to go to war again tomorrow. But like you said, the next, well, every single fight now until the end of this, the bouts tonight are all final, so everything's on the line. Who's going to be New Zealand champ?
Seconds out, round 3.
Once we finish with this round, we'll be introducing Dr. John Mackay, who's made his way up to sit beside us, get his feelings on how everything's been going.
Finbar running out again.
Yeah, he just sprints out.
Keen to rumble as we get in now to the third and final. And this is a frenzied pace from Finbar. Love the no-nonsense style. You know, he's got that guard up nice and tight, just missing with those hooks. Keeping out of range, you know. We're seeing some beautiful boxing here from Finbar.
Yeah, he comes in, takes his shot, and he's in that position, well balanced to be able to bounce back himself off.
I mean, these guys are the youngest, lightest guys we've seen on the card, and they are showing so much technical
nice
boxing
jab in there.
finesse.
Just put Finbar's head a little bit back. If it's your first time watching amateur boxing, these referees are right on top of it. As it's always been said, safety for the boxer is absolutely paramount. These referees watch very, very closely. The boxer seems to be tiring, or the referee feels that he maybe just needs a break. They will do a standing 8.
Beautiful movement here from Hone as well. You know, he talks about being a switch hitter. You can see he steps back in angles, switches stance, you know, which would confuse some fighters, but Finbar just take it on the chin, walk forward.
Final 10 seconds to see who's going to do it. I don't think I'm going to make another prediction tonight.
Oh, I'm just stoked to see such a great fight from young lads like this. What a performance. And we're going to see a New Zealand champ crowned after this one.
Now, I'm not sure if they're going to receive their medals at this point, being the final, which is traditionally how most things work. Otherwise, they might be doing the full prize giving at the end of tomorrow.
What a performance that was as well.
What do you think of these camera angles?
Oh, amazing. You know, like we're getting everything. We're getting a bird's eye view,
So we'll
ringside.
I think Vinny's ready to go. We'll cross down to Vinny, our ring announcer.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the blue corner, representing Central North Island, Motekiai Huni.
There you have it. We have a New Zealand champ, Motekiai Huni, taking away the title.
For your information, there will be a quick presentation before we move on to the next bout. Having said that, can I please ask Steve Howard to come to the ring? Steve Howard, come to the ring. Steve is the chairman of the Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, a 4 times New Zealand champion, Oceania Games silver bronze medalist, and Wellington team head coach. Put it together, please, ladies and gentlemen.
So while the boys are receiving their medals and certificates, I could love to welcome Dr. John Mackay up with us. Doctor, nice to have you join us.
Yeah, thanks very much for the invitation.
Now, of course, ex-president of New Zealand Boxing, development manager, high performance manager. Do you have time to actually do anything else other than boxing?
Boxing's been my my lifetime.
Boxers to the ring,
Probably
please.
50-odd years now.
And how are you enjoying this so far?
It's been very well organised. Probably one of the better organised tournaments I've seen recently at the New Zealand Champs. Very good indeed.
Yeah, I have to concur with that. We've arrived, nothing has been a problem to the organising committee. Everything is just flowing. I mean, as you can see, the boxers are coming in. While we do that, we'll just head down to Vinny for a second. He'll make the announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet male 42 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Manawatu Boxing Association, Keanu Mooney. And in the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Xavier Smith McIntosh.
And young Mooney, he has been runner-up New Zealand champs in
The
2019.
referee is Sunita Lalu.
And he won the North Island Golden Gloves in 2019. So he's out of the Billy Meehan Boxing Academy in the Manawatu.
Hey, we mentioned Poker Rocks before. The guys in the last fight were 40 kilograms. These guys are just 42. And it's going to come down to the wire. Who wants this more? Who's going to be New Zealand champ? But welcome to John Mackay. There's not an event I don't go to in Auckland I don't see you at, so awesome to have you on board for this one.
Thanks very much.
Now, of course, you're the high performance managers, or you're the ex-high performance manager.
Ex-high performance manager, ex-national coach, yes.
Yeah, how you, when you look at this young talent still coming through, excites you?
It's good to see, really. I thought the boy in the red corner had actually won that fight previously, but I'm a trainer, not a judge, so that's probably the reason.
Well, I have to say, John, we've been saying the same. We were putting cups of tea on it, but we've sort of decided to quit that one.
But you'd have to also say that looking at it from here is totally different from looking at it from where the judges are, and that makes a difference.
So these boys are going pocket rockets coming out. Keanu Mooney in red, Xavier Smith McIntosh in the blue. Both these young fellas, and again, not going to take us a back step.
Xavier there in the blue. He is a 220 Central North Island champ. So let's see if he can bring that experience tonight and take away that title. Or we're going to get a bit of an upset from Keanu Mooney in the red. Well, just stepping to side there, moving those angles.
Now, without being personal, John, you've been involved with boxing for a long time. Still get a buzz out of watching these young fellas.
Oh, very much so. That's the people that I enjoy most training, as the small kids.
Do you see still the continuing growth with the junior boxing through the clubs?
I think it's pleasing to see that we have so many young kids here at this tournament. I'm pleasantly surprised how many there are.
Yeah, a total of 143 boxers have entered or have made it to the Nationals.
Well, about 20 years ago, if we had 75 total, we'd be lucky.
So where do you put that down to? Where do you see the growth coming from?
Grassroots boxing. There's a number of very good, enthusiastic coaches coming through. A lot more new clubs around the regions. And, of course, there's been 2 or 3 new associations, which means that we have a greater chance of having more people actually come to the New Zealand Champs.
Well, I'm from Taupo, and I remember with meeting Nuki many years ago. And, of course, sadly, passed over. But his club's just still running strong. And
in fact, the boy in blue who's representing CNI is actually from Taupo.
yeah, and, of course, Powell, who coaches, is
also from there, yes.
Yep, as one of his trainers, along with Milo. They've just been growing it up in our smaller district.
Yes.
And you're seeing the growth coming through.
I think we're seeing boxing taking off again in the smaller centres and in a lot
Seconds
of
out,
a lot of the
round
country
2.
towns.
Keeping them off PlayStation and getting them into a gym.
Hopefully that works. Yes.
Hard one to call so far. I mean, both these boys have been relatively busy. Quick sprint into the ring as well. They meet each other head on. Beautiful work from both boys. 42 kilograms, just 2 kilos up from the last one.
Yeah, but you notice the height difference?
Yeah, they do. Even though it's 2 kilos, they do look a bit bigger.
Yep.
Xavier there in the blue, Keanu in the red.
Both keeping their hands nice and high, trying to work out where they're coming from. Xavier trying to control the centre of the ring.
Yeah, it's good too with the lighter guys. They just stay centre. There's not too much hugging. There's not too much up against the ring. They just stand and bang in the middle of the ring. Ref keeping a close eye on things. But it's pretty fast and frenzied fight this far. 30 seconds to go.
Just to remind our viewers, of course, they are 1.5 minute rounds.
Just an absolute frenzied pace from both fighters. Not resting. It's been 0 to 100 from the get-go as we get ready now for the 10-second clapper.
And Dr. John, also you're the former manager for both New Zealand and Scotland.
Yes, I was head coach and high performance manager for Scotland 2003 to 2008. And that was really very good because it gave me the opportunity to see what was going on actively throughout Europe. So seeing the Europeans fighting and training was a really good experience.
John, with Scotland and New Zealand, was there any big significant differences between the style of a Scottish boxer and a New Zealand boxer?
Probably yes. I think because there is some difference between Scotland and New Zealand, and I think
Seconds out, round 3.
a lot of that is to do with the experience they get internationally overseas, particularly through Europe.
So this is it, make or break for both Keanu Mooney and Xavier Smith McIntosh in the blue corner. Again, 1.5 minutes to go. Round number 3. This is a final for both these young fellas. Who wants it more, I suppose, is where they get to at this point.
Double jab there from Keanu. Really hard to score. I mean, John, looking at this as a fan, a judge, coach, how do you see this going so far? Do you see anyone ahead on points?
I would not like to be judging this one today. I think it's very close indeed. Both boxers have really given it all, and they both are quite fit, even though it's 1.5 minute rounds. It is a sprint, and they're going really helpful, very, very good indeed.
Great way of putting it. It's a sprint, right? 1.5 minute rounds, and they're certainly sprinting in the ring here tonight.
And Keanu's asked us if we could please thank his family and friends for their support. I would imagine a few of his college mates or schoolmates are looking at this on Sky Sport Next, cheering him on. The crowd starts to get really vocal as these last rounds come across.
Big shots now from both boys. Xavier there in the blue, throwing a few right hands of his own. Keanu coming back, but Xavier landing a beauty.
And again, the referee seen something and said, I'm just going to give you 8 seconds just to sort this out. Make sure you're okay. Should be checking very, very closely. And saved by the bell.
Hey, what a performance. As John said earlier, it's a sprint. These are 1.5 minute rounds. Interesting to see how the judges saw this one.
These young boys are really quite fit, quite impressive, really.
Yeah, similar sort of fight records and the number of bouts they've had. Only one really different. I think Xavier's got one more up his sleeve, or I've got that wrong. Keanu Mooney has got one more. So we'll head down.
I think it also reflects the experience of the cornermen. Both corners are experienced coaches. Billy Meehan, of course, and the boy from Taupo. They've been around the traps for quite a while.
So we'll head down to our ring announcer to get to the decision, remembering these boxers will receive their medals and certificates. Here we go to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision in the blue corner, representing Central North Island,
you have it.
Xavier Smith McIntosh.
He finished strong, he racked up the points, and he goes away New Zealand champ, Xavier Smith McIntosh.
To present the boxers' medals, we will have Lance Revel.
When you look at the scores,
Lance
28-29 either way, it does show.
To ringside, please. Lance is
as well.
an Oceania gold medalist.
And as we were
Commonwealth
saying
Games.
just a few seconds ago, Isaac and I were commenting that, because they are so close. I was watching or talking to one of the younger boxers yesterday, and he said, the hardest thing that you've got to deal with is that if you're losing by split decision, it's close, and they sort of could sort of see it in his eyes that he was hurting, but he put a brave face on.
Very much so. He probably thinks I should have gone a bit harder in the last round, or should have done a bit better in the second round. That would be the immediate thoughts.
Hey, how good is it too to see Lance Revel if I'm not mistaken, he did a couple of rounds of Muhammad Ali back in the day, John.
In 1980, I was away at the time, but yes, he did. I think he tried to knock Ali out, and Ali got a bit brassed up with him, so I think he might have got back at Lance at the time.
Yeah, this is only supposed to be a sparring session.
Supposed to be an exhibition, yeah. I think Lance got a bit carried away, yeah.
Well, I'm going to be talking to a young gentleman shortly who's travelled all the way from Australia. He's quarantined himself and he's been here, I think this could be his 6th or 7th year. That's dedication.
That's it.
And as you can hear probably through our effects mics, a lot of these boxers get called in by their region. Canterbury's been very vocal, I have to say.
They have, yes. So also has Wellington Hutt Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll head down to our ring announcer, Vinny, who is going to introduce these young boxers to us. We are, of course, still sitting in the... we jumped up to, what are we, 48 kilogram. So we've jumped another 6 kg. These are the cadet males. Down to you, I think. It looks like our chairman, Keith Walker, is just having a word to our ring announcer.
Has there been the past experience of behaviour, though, John? Are Canterbury always this loud and vocal?
Have been forever. Absolutely forever.
All right, we'll head down to Vinny and he'll announce, give us the names of these young boxers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the cadet male 48 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Kalai Proctor. And in the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Connor Campbell.
Connor Campbell coming out of Taupo Andanuki's Taupo Boxing Gym.
Your referee is Tol Lomu.
And Kalai Proctor is out of Rotorua. So, of course, these boys probably know each other. They've probably jumped into each other's gyms and said hello.
Once again, we're stepping up slightly above in weight, up to 48 kilograms, still 1.5 minute rounds for the New Zealand title. You can see the seriousness on their face, though. They want to win. Who's going to take this home? Kalai there in the red, Connor in the blue, and you can see too the size difference, just going from 42 to 48. These guys look huge compared to the last fight.
Yeah, well, I don't have the statistics on Kalai, but young Connor Campbell, he's had 19 bouts, 14 wins, 5 losses.
Yeah, Connor's got a bit more experience with being the 2020 North Island Gold Gloves champ. Kalai 1-3, but we've seen some records and they've just gone out the window sometimes when they've actually gone down and thrown down here in the ring tonight. Kalai there in the red, Connor in the blue.
Yeah, well, of course, Connor has only been in the sport 3 years, but he looks like he's been well taught. He's able to sort of move off that front foot and get onto that back real quick, John.
They do.
Nice right overhand there.
They've got good hand speed, both of them. And they've got good variety of punches as well. They're not just throwing straight punches, they're pitching body punches, rips to the body, good long hooks, good straight shots. Quite impressive, really.
You know, considering to their age, you know, we've seen some slick boxing. Look at the way he steps back, switch hitting. Nice angles moving here from the man in red, Kalai Proctor. Oh, bit of a quick hit after the bell. Cole saying, hey.
It was already loaded.
Yeah, just on the bell.
So if you've joined us, well, of course you have, with Sky Sport Next, ring your mates up, send them a text, ring them, and tell them how to get on and watch.
If you don't have internet, then you can't watch. But what's your excuse? Everyone has internet.
Who does not have internet?
Exactly. So get on the internet, Sky Sport Next, watch these fights live.
And the good thing too with Sky Sport Next is, like a lot of the boxers, they aren't able to watch their bout but they've been going back to their motels, their accommodation, and then turning on
Seconds
their
out,
computers
round 2.
and actually watching what happened.
I think it's a great way of being able to evaluate your opponent straight after you've finished your own bout. You're going to know who you're going to fight the next day. It's really good.
Yeah, well, so we were saying earlier, John, that a lot of these boxers, you know, have had 24 hours to recover and they're coming straight back into it. So their conditioning is very, very good.
Yeah, well, I think it epitomises the training regime required in boxing per se, really. It's probably, and I'm biased when I say it, probably the ultimate in terms of fitness training. So these kids will probably been worked over, given short spell times, see how they go with sparring, see how they go with high intensity training, shorten their rest phase, really push them to the limit to see if they can in fact go at 100 mile an hour for what is in effect 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. So anaerobically as well?
Very much anaerobic. Probably more anaerobically here than, say, the senior league at 3 minutes.
Now, a lot of people, of course, look at a boxer and they sort of think, oh, yeah, that's... But a lot of people use it just... That's not necessarily getting into the ring and having a fight, but just using it purely for fitness because of exactly that.
Very much so. It's probably one of the few sports and exercise where we are working at times exclusively in the ATP system. That is the short-term high-energy system that's required.
Well, as you said, it's a sprint, isn't it? 1.5. You're blasting for 4.5, 6 or 9 minutes.
Yes, it'd be interesting to know what these kids' heart rate would. They'd be fairly high. Mum can probably be a bit worried how high they were, but they would be pretty high.
Yeah, well, Connor Campbell says, hi, Mum.
Beautiful performance here too from Connor, just coming forward very aggressively. But Kalai, he's slightly less experienced of the two, but I'm loving the way he moves. He's holding his own, and this is a fantastic matchup for the New Zealand final.
Well, when I was speaking to him at the Golden Gloves in Tupelo, I mean, he plays rugby, he does a little bit of league and boxing. And his mum basically implied along the lines of, you know, keep him busy.
Seconds out, round 3.
And off those game machines, yes.
So this is make or break time for Connor Campbell in the blue from Tupelo and Kalai Proctor from Rotorua. As I say, they are now in the last minute and a half for one of them to be crowned the New Zealand national champion for 2020.
I'm going to ask too, John, just watching again, how are you seeing this fight go?
Well, for mine, I would say the boy in blue is actually winning this fight, but who am I? I'm only a trainer, so...
It's interesting to say too, because we've seen a few fights where you have seen it, you've seen it go one way and it goes the other. So let's see how this third and final goes. 1 minute to go. Both boys so busy, racking up, putting scores on board with all these punches.
Yeah, Kalai's definitely increased the pace though in round 3. I'm wondering whether his corner said to him, hey, you might have left us a bit late, so, you know, don't hold anything back.
Nice left hook there from Kalai. Just came forward, dropped the guard and came over him. But just as I said that, Connor comes through with 4 punches of his own.
Yeah, Connor is very active with those combinations. Very effective.
Speed too.
Oh, a lovely right hand over that, and again. All good scoring shots, John.
Absolutely.
You know, considering the youth or how young these guys are, loving the technique. You know, they throw that hook, it'll come straight back. 10 seconds to go.
I see young Connor's come back time and time again with those flurries of combinations, and I think that should help him win the fight, I believe.
What a fight that was. Super entertaining to watch, and I bet all those at home
Whilst
are
we're
loving
waiting for a decision, Paul Georgiev to the ring.
And of course, these boys are going to receive their winning medals and runner-up, along with certificates. Yeah, Connor doesn't sort of... He's not sort of overdoing it. I think he's trying to keep his emotions under control a little bit.
I think it's probably more relevant to look at the coaches and see what they will tell you. The one on the left in the blue, of course, is smiling. The guy in the red corner is not smiling, so that says something as well.
Yeah, that's young. His corner is Powell.
Very good call there. And, you know, as we can see and have seen, the coaches get very animated.
Well, there's been a lot of time spent with these boys, you can guarantee that, for them to get to this level.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Central North Island, Connor Campbell.
Connor Campbell taking home the win, New Zealand
presenting
champion.
the medals.
I think it's fairly obvious from the judges' scores there
assistant
that the blue has won every round virtually, so perhaps one round he missed out with one judge. So that's pretty good, really.
As I say, even though we're referring to this as the 2020 New Zealand Amateur Boxing Championships, COVID actually had a massive impact, which is probably why we're getting quite a lot of...
I think in some ways COVID has helped boxing because it's indoors. Well, we're still able to box competitively around the country, and it's one of the few sports that we've been able to do this on an individual basis. So it has been good, very good.
Yeah, well, many a country, of course, are absolutely stuck. They've got no live sport. We've got it.
Oh, we sure have. And Australia are smarting at the moment, I can tell you.
Oh, nothing like upsetting in Australia.
Well, you know, we thought initially we were going to have Tasmania come and box here, but there was no bubble, so that was the end of it.
Well, there's the introduction. We can head down to Vinny. I think this is a world title fight coming up. Vinny, all yours.
The following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet male 50 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Azizula Gazizada.
Who likes to be referred to as Azzy.
And in the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Dane Walker.
And of course, Dave Walker is also a Topudlian. He's out of Nookie's boxing gym, of course.
Your referee is Peter George.
Powell's actually basically hasn't moved from the trainer. He's had 3 fights in a row. So
yes, he's been quite busy.
Yeah, he's had 2, so I think he'd be going for the trifecta.
You didn't notice running out after the end of the second round to get the other boy prepared.
You got it perfectly, though. It sounded like a world title fight as he came out before.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like tomorrow night when all these guys start to really want to say, well, I don't need to keep my voice anymore, I could just lose it?
Well, I can't imagine. It's getting pretty hectic now as we get ready for the final. Azzy there in the red corner, Dane Walker there in the blue.
There'll also be quite a bit of competition between the teams, the regions, in terms of how much noise they can each make, and they'll compete with one another outside as well.
You wouldn't be surprised if somebody starts bringing a drum kit and start banging away at that.
Both boys came sprinting to meet each other head on in the start of the round here. Very aggressive. Both both orthodox fighters here. Very aggressive from the get-go. This is only 1.5. Don't you love the pace of this fight so far, John?
Yeah, it's very good. In fact, the last 3 fights, the tempo has been very high.
And it's always good, you know, they try to stamp their mark. You know, it can be a sign of dominance. What we've seen in most fights, if they do start off strong, win that first round, they usually go on to win the next second and third. Potentially not always, but that's usually the way it starts off.
It is, yes. I think it's hard to realise at times that these kids are only 13, 14 years of age, you know, because of the aggression that they have.
Well, like, once again, you know, these guys have only gone up 2 kilos again. It almost looks like they're moving up 5 or 10.
Yes. Strength-wise, power-wise.
And this round is just flying by. It's 1.5, 10 seconds out now. It's been too quick to call. I'm not even going to try call this. All those watching back home, get out your scorecards. Who are you calling this one, or is it too hard to call, John?
I wouldn't call it this stage. It's too early. That's fairly tough.
Canterbury certainly bringing out the fighters. Aziz there in the red, Dane in the blue. It was fast, it was furious. That was a hectic first round.
As you say, don't take your eyes off your screen with Sky Sport Next, because you'll miss something.
Blink and miss, 1.5. Here we go for the replay. Both boys standing straight centre, throwing down.
Eric and the coach in the corner for the Canterbury boy, he's very experienced. He'll be calming that boy is down just a little, just to take a little bit of excitement off, so he's got better concentration.
Seconds out, round 2.
So just a reminder to our viewers, of course, these are all finals in this lighter weight divisions.
And they're certainly throwing like it's finals. You know, every single fight we've seen that has been a final,
Slipped up to it.
guns blazing. Ozzy there in the red, all the way from Canterbury Christchurch. Dane Walker representing CNI, Central North. Beautiful upcuts there now, coming straight through the middle. Dane Walker in the blue. Nice double jab follow-up though from Ozzy. Nice. See that shot, threw a 1-2 left and then switched. Nice work here from Ozzy. I think John caught it earlier. You know, these guys are only 13, 14 years old, but to show the skill definitely is a display that they're on the pathway to success for something further down the track.
Yeah, skill and tempo, really. It's very good. Very impressive.
Once again, this round's just flying by. We're almost at the 10-second clapper. Too hard to call again. Both boys moving different angles, connecting at opposite sides of each other.
Yeah, there's not a lot of haymakers being thrown around. They are actually connecting.
I feel sorry for the judge in this one. You're probably glad you're not judging this one, John.
He hates judging.
I hate judging. Yeah, sometimes I hate the judges too. Yes.
You're probably not the only one at times with tournaments.
Oh, it happens.
But hey, you've got to feel sorry for this. And I did mention earlier, at times they don't have a hard job, but they're definitely working for singing for their supper in this one.
Well, I think sometimes the judges are a bit maligned, really, because it's not an easy task to be completely objective, and
No.
they have to be they're supposed to be completely objective, you know, and it's subjective style judging. It's not objective at all. That's the issue.
If there is a
Seconds out, round 3.
disagreement with the decision, is there a process to follow?
Judge's decision is final.
There you have it.
You
John
can
Mackay.
put in a protest. That would be very unusual.
Well, these boys are deciding it's a slugfest for the last minute and a half.
Speaking of protests, it sounds like there's a protest going on here tonight.
Who's getting the... I'm trying to work out who's getting the count. Oh.
The crowd are going crazy. Ozzy got that. Didn't look so bad from up here, but hey, the ref knows best.
And just for our viewers, the referee just gives a standing count if he sees something. Maybe we miss it because it's sort of he's right in close, seeing what's going on. He'll be saying, I'm going to just settle this down for a few seconds.
Big shot there from Ozzy.
So the Canterbury crowd starting to really wind up, giving AZ the encouragement that he's going to need to say, look, you've got 30 seconds, my young fella, keep going.
What a war it's been, you know, from the get-go. They've just put their foot on the gas.
Oh, an uppercut.
Beautiful combinations of uppercuts and overhand rights. Lovely.
Ten seconds now.
Well, I don't know what his trainer Eric Sincock said to him, but it's worked.
Yes. Oh, he's an old hand. He's been around a long time. There's not much left in the gas tank with those two boys tonight.
John Ensor to the ring, please.
That's what you want to see, though. That's exactly what you want to see for a final, right?
Absolutely.
Leaving nothing for the road home.
Dead right.
So these young boys, of course, are about to receive their medals.
I think young Ozzy is finished stronger in that last round.
Yeah. Good to see the sportsmanship. It's fantastic to watch.
Absolutely. I think it's understated, really, the sportsmanship that is shown in boxing, in amateur boxing particularly.
Yeah, well, it seems to be instilled in them from the first day they walk into a gym.
Absolutely. Well,
We'll head down to our ring announcer, Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Azizula Gazizada.
What does that mean to him?
Presenting the medals is John Ensor, AIBA Star 1 coach, Level 2 coach, and 55 years servicing the sport of boxing.
What a win, what a performance. And you can see
It meant a lot
so
to him.
happy.
It meant a lot to him.
absolutely.
And look at that. We talked about sportsmanship. He's just won. He's just been an opponent, but he just lowered the rope.
Yeah. I'm now a New Zealand champion. Coach saying, come here. I'll give you a hug before you get out of the ring.
What a replay. And look at that. Both shots connecting at the same time. Ozzy landing the better of the both.
That would mean almost the same for his coach as it was for the boy who won.
So we'll head down to Vinny, who will announce our next two.
The following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet female 52 kilo division in the red corner, representing Masterton and Districts Association, Daisy Omundson. And in the blue corner, representing Taranaki Boxing Association, Arohaina Dean.
So Dr. John, because we've got somebody from the Naki here, you better say nice things, because Steve Hartley's not too
Your
far away.
referee
You know
is
how
Ina
biased he is
Schuster.
to anyone from the Neck.
Yes, I do. I fought quite a number from there over the years.
And for our viewers with the Sky Sport Next, we do have another issue with our lights. We do apologise. Our camera crew will do their utmost to try and adjust what they're able to feed out to you. But it's not, it's a stadium problem that we're facing at the moment. So either somebody's put their bum onto a light switch or a transformer's gone kaboot. But no, we're still in, have a little bit of light. So a couple of our young ladies getting into it.
Once again, another final. 52 kilograms, Daisy there in the red.
And this is only her third bout.
And that's incredible, fighting for the final in your third bout.
Yep.
Definitely something to brag about.
Ariana Dean, of course, she's a little bit more experienced with 4 wins and 4 losses.
But again, they are fighting as if it is a sprint. Their tempo was very good.
Beautiful speed here too from both ladies. Daisy in the red, just adjusting that headgear, 52 kilograms, and it is another 1.5.
After this fight, here we are, the lights are coming back again. After this fight, we get John to just move aside for just a moment, because we've got a little story of a young boxer who's travelled a little distance to get here for these nationals. I'll explain that to you very shortly.
His name wouldn't be Xavier, would it?
It would be.
Nicely hooked there to finish or get close to the 10-second clapper. Dean in blue.
Remembering these are 1.5-minute rounds. So Daisy Ormondson and Arahana Dean. Looks like our lighting's come back again. We're at the Te Rauparaha Arena, just north of Wellington, the fine city of Porirua, for the 118th New Zealand National Championships. I'm Brent Perry along with Isaac Savage, and joining us is Dr. John Mackay, a name famously in boxing circles. One of the things we were actually talking about, John, was the weekend is that we've had Lawrence come up to us and spend a bit of time. And of course, even though he's now just purely coaching, but how willing they are to get with these
seconds
younger
out,
boxers.
round 2.
That's what we need. We need a lot more younger coaches coming through to provide the enthusiasm that's required if we want to expand as we should be doing.
Yeah. So it's not just as much getting them to the gym, it's that whole mentoring process, isn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, boxing coaches probably mentor their kids probably a lot more involved than in many other sports.
Both ladies starting fast and furious. 30 seconds down, 1 minute to go. Too hard to call.
And John, how do you find it with looking at these young women boxing?
Well, today I have no problem with it. A few years ago I did.
Why was that?
Personally, I didn't think they were physiologically capable of being able to box adequately, but I'm totally wrong.
So the change up now is bring it on.
Oh, very much so, yes. In fact, I like working with the young females because they're very interested in the technical aspects of boxing, more so than the young boys are at that stage, which is quite interesting. So they want to know how to punch correctly. And they ask you how to punch correctly. The boys think they know how to punch correctly.
Now, without getting ourselves into trouble, it's actually they have 2 ears and 1 mouth. They listen before they speak.
Hey, John, you can't say you're not excited for Shorigana and Michelle Nuku. That is going to be an absolute showstopper.
Yeah.
At the same time, these replays are fantastic. Once again, another hard fight to score. Judge, I'm really happy that I'm up here, not down there judging this one.
Yeah, well, of course,
Seconds out, round 3.
there's a number of boxers that are probably sitting there at the moment saying, I'm up next, and the nerves will be starting to climb as these young ladies are about to find out. 1.5 minutes to determine whether they're a New Zealand boxing champion.
Just standing centre ring right now. This is an absolute war. I'm sure all those watching back home are loving this action. Brought to you by Sky Sport Next. Nice uppercut, then overhand right, followed by a left jab there from Daisy.
They're just trying to muscle Daisy back into the rope so that she can get up. But Daisy's sort of saying, no, I'm going to turn this around. She's managed to do a complete pirouette, 360 around, and say, no, I'm going to take the fight back to you.
You know what I love about this fight too, Daisy, is the slightly less experience, yet she's certainly bringing it in this third and final.
Yes, she certainly dominated this round.
And this is what the judges look for, they'll look for this last round. We did talk earlier though, John, if you've won the first 2, it's pretty hard to come back by unless you stop.
Absolutely, unless you stop them.
But I'm not sure who is winning this fight.
I'm just saying that Arahana, she's just
changed it around now.
Yeah, she just landed a couple of beautiful overhands onto Daisy Edmondson's head.
Big shots there from, what have I now?
Oh, that was a very good bout.
Cameron Todd to the ring, please.
So have you got a decide on who you reckon that was going to be, John?
I'll go for the red corner.
Red corner. Well, while we're just taking a quick break before these young guys actually get involved, we've managed to pull up a young fella who's done a bit of travelling, I understand. So I'm just going to put a set of headphones on him, make sure that he can hear me. All good?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, perfect. Introduce yourself. I know it's Xavier.
Yeah, my name is Xavier Matafa Ikinofo. I've been boxing for 12, 13 years, almost all my life.
Now, the interesting thing being is that you actually don't reside in New Zealand anymore. You're over in
We have
Australia.
a decision.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision 4-1. In the blue corner, representing Taranaki Boxing Association, Arohaina Dean.
Well,
Yeah, the Naki.
there you have it.
Presenting the
Arohaina
medals to the
Dean.
boxers is Cameron Todd. Cameron is has 34 years coaching boxing, a former national coach, a former Olympic women's coach, and former national coach for Samoa, Vanuatu, and Tonga. Vanuatu,
So before our next announcers come in, Xavier, so you actually live in Brisbane.
Yep, I live in Brisbane. I've lived there for 13 years. I moved there when I was 5.
Yeah, but you've travelled back for the last 6 years.
Yeah,
Boxers to the ring,
I'm a New
please.
Zealand citizen, so I have to travel to New Zealand if I want to compete internationally in boxing or take my boxing career any further. I can't really fight in Australia. I can't represent them because I'm an Australian citizen.
Okay, but so you've had to do the whole quarantine thing to get here.
Yeah, I quarantined for 2 weeks. Basically just shadow boxing and push-ups. That's all you can do. A little bit of jogging. But it was okay because I came out, as soon as I got out of quarantine, I got into a training camp with my
Brilliant.
trainer, Lolo Heimuli.
Well, we're just going to take a quick break for a second, Xavier, while we head down to Vinny, who's going to introduce our next two boxers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet male 52 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Max Colvert. And in the blue corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, Toby Brown.
So just before we get the chance with Xavier, so Xavier, how did you cope with
Your
the,
referee is Paul McSherry.
being locked up?
It was tough. It was different because usually you have a gym and a bag and training partners, but I did the best I could.
So you wrecked a few pillows at the hotel then?
I tried not to. My mum had some pads, so we did a little bit of pad work, but she's not that great at it. But she tried her best.
I'd be saying nice things about your mother if she went through quarantine to get you here to New Zealand for the Nationals.
Yeah.
And you're fighting tomorrow?
Yeah, in the final 69 kilo male youth division.
All right, we'll look forward to catching up with you tomorrow, Xavier. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
Here we got Mad Max there in the red, Toby Brown in the blue. I spoke to Max earlier and he said he'd give me the nickname Mad Max, so he's certainly starting off mad here in the red and Toby there in the blue.
Toby Brown trained by David Graham at Cannons Creek, so he's got a little local support from the Wellington and the Porirua crowd.
Crowd's certainly woken up and I'm sure everyone watching back home is excited for this bout. This is the final 52 kilograms. Mad Max in the red, Toby Brown in blue.
Wellington up against Canterbury, of course, has always been a great match-up when it comes to rugby.
Hey, what a fight this is so far, John. I mean, the action has been intense from the get-go. Max there in the red, Toby in the blue.
It's been very good. They're going all guns.
Certainly living up to that name now. As we get close to the 10-second clapper, this is just flown by.
What, Maximilian?
Some very accurate punching from both sides.
These might only be 1.5 minute rounds, but boy, they're leaving nothing. Nothing. So, of course, young Max Colvert, or Maximilian, is referred to orthodox boxer, He's the Canterbury champion for 2020, South Island Golden Gloves champion again for 2020, out of the Smiling Tigers gym and trained by Mark Fuller. First time coming to the New Zealand champs.
Yes, Mark's been he's been around as a coach for Canterbury for many years, probably 20 plus at least. Very experienced, has had a lot of very good boxers.
We hope you're enjoying the coverage with Sky Sport Next as much as we're enjoying it being here live. If you happen to be in the Wellington region, however, it's just out in Porirua, so it's only a couple of minutes drive out of Wellington City at the Te Rapaha Arena. We'd love you to join us here. And as you're watching it on TV, put in your calendar and your diaries for tomorrow. We'll be back again at 2 and for the afternoon session. And then for the big night 5s. Now that cracked his, twice. He's worn literally 2 to 3 punches. Max Culvert's head came back quite quickly.
There's certainly a lot of action in this round. Some good punching. As I said before, very accurate.
Yeah, Toby Brown's ring work is very good. He's staying out of trouble. And as you can see, it's almost at will. He's able to connect through with Max Culvert. He's got his arms down, he's chasing him and just walking into punches all the time.
Yeah, he's moving and punching and moving. He's got good skills.
A referee, of course, with this amateur boxing is going to be watching very, very closely. Because, yeah, I had a funny feeling that was going to be the case.
Great shots here from Toby.
You could almost see that coming.
I think also with Toby, as soon as he gets anywhere near the ropes, he's off. He moves back into the centre of the ring, back into the safest part. So very good boxing indeed.
Now, it's all right. We just lost our lighting again for a second. It has to be somebody leaning up against the light switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would have to say that Toby Brown in that round definitely seemed to be. If you're watching these replays now, his
mobility is extraordinary. I think that's really what's making it such a difference in terms of who's winning the bout. And he's punching, moving both ways, punching with both hands, plenty of accuracy. Quite impressive indeed.
As you say, as soon as he feels himself getting close to those ropes, he's moving.
Well, that's one of the danger parts, them in the corner, the 2 danger areas, so he knows exactly what to do.
David Graham, of course, is the trainer for Toby Brown out of the Cannons Creek Boxing Academy, which is pretty close to where we are physically at the moment here at Porirua.
I mean, you can't ask for more in a final like this. I mean, both boys throwing down. Toby Brown in the blue, Max in the red. Toby certainly finished that round strong, though. Speaking of strong, listen to this crowd here tonight. They're on their feet. Loving the way, too, that Toby Brown is able to punch forward and move back. You pointed out before, too, John, he's punching and moving, but also on the back foot. Just also that he took one from Max. Mad Max coming through now.
He's in good physical shape too. He's not blowing out at all. He's continuing that mobility, which is really extraordinary.
Well, this is the final. As we go now to the final 45 seconds.
This would be the best bout, I think, this afternoon.
Great fight from both fighters. Once again, Toby moving on the back foot. 1-2 moves on the back foot, moves different angle. Fantastic boxing.
He's got a longer reach and he's using it to his advantage.
Mad Max coming forward now, trying to duck a move, land that shot.
Yeah, well, he's finishing with a flurry, though.
What a fight, what an ending. Both boys connecting as the bell went.
Yeah, I just think Toby took that. Max Culvert may have left his run just a fraction late.
I don't really think he won one round, really. I thought Toby was far too clever for him.
Madback started very, very strong. I liked what I saw from Toby. These guys look like they could go another few rounds. That's how fit they are, right, John? They look like they could go probably 6 to 9 rounds.
They are in good condition, both of them. Very good condition.
Great fight. And we've got a few more to go. This is only bout number 8 out of another 8 to go, really. 8 out of 16. All finals from here on out as we go for the decision. Vinny.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association, Toby Brown.
Toby Brown takes away the win, and well
Presenting
deserved.
the medals is Marty Ryan. Marty is a life member of Boxing New Zealand, a life member and patron of the R&J's Association. Marty has 58 years serving boxing, 58 years straight coming to the New Zealand champs as a boxer, coach in R&J. Another round of applause. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for both boxers.
So, of course, we are slowly moving up the weight divisions, although these are still the cadet males. And the support for both boxers from all camps has been absolutely brilliant. Canterbury's lining themselves up. You can't actually see it on the screen at the moment, but over in the back corner, the whole of the Canterbury contingent line themselves up. And here they go. They start making quite a lot of noise to actually bring their fighter into the ring before they get underway. And we'll cross down to Vinny, and he will make the announcements.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the cadet male 54 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Edward Richards. And in the blue corner, representing Hawke's Bay Boxing Association, Alexander Cool.
Here we go now for bout number 9 at 1.5 minute rounds, 54 kilograms.
The referee is Greg Weening.
This is the final. Eddie B there in the red against Alexander Cool there in the blue. Eddie B was the nickname. I talked to him about it this earlier. Every single person in this gym has the last name B. It seems to be a bit of a going trait. This is going to be an absolute banger. 1.5 rounds, 54 kilograms. We've gone up another 2, John, but once again, they just look huge. It's like we're going up 5 to 10 kilos each time.
Long and lanky, aren't they?
Good thing about this one too, we've got a stylistic matchup. Eddie B is a southpaw, whereas Alex is a orthodox fighter. We're going to see a great fight here, a stylistic matchup. What's your thoughts on when we do see a southpaw fight an orthodox there, John?
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether the orthodox boy uses his right hand to effect, and he's also his left hook to effect. That'll be interesting to see. If he's taller than the southpaw, then he can use the underhand shots as well.
You saw the height difference there as well, Eddie B being a lot taller against the shorter fighter Alexander, but this is what I love about seeing short versus tall. He's got to get in the inside, he's got to be aggressive, he's got to take it to him. But so far Eddie B's just taking it to him in the corner there. Don't want to be in the corner too if you're Alex.
It's not often you see quite so much aggression. For the southpaw, they usually like to be working off their back foot a lot more.
Oh, that is true. And he's just pumping out that right jab now. Good job there from Alex getting out of the corner. Didn't want to be in there too long. Nice body shot there from Eddie B. Like you said, he's certainly the aggressor and a little bit rare for a southpaw.
Yeah, very much so.
Start off nice and strong. This is just going to fly by as well. We're at 40 seconds. These rounds are just flying by. Once again, he's got him in the corner. Not a good place to be for Alex. launching shot there from Alex, trying to keep Eddie B there at bay. Switches stance, then throws a left, coming forward again. Certainly, we're seeing a lot of dominance here from Eddie B so early on with 10 seconds to go.
Of course, Alex is the New Zealand Golden Gloves champion back in 2019, national cadet title in the 44 kilogram class again in 2019. He's had 14 bouts.
John made a good point. You know, sometimes we don't see southpaws as aggressive, but being the shorter fighter, you've got to be aggressive. You've got to get in the inside, and he's making it really difficult.
I think it'll be interesting this next round to see whether our southpaw, who is taller, whether he's going to be able to keep the aggression up. Knowing Craig McDougall, who's in the blue corner, the coach in the blue corner, he'll have a strategy worked out. We can guarantee that.
You know, we talked about aggression. Did you see that uppercut in the replay launched from Alex? If that had connected, he might have sent him to the moon with that one. Wouldn't mind seeing a bit more power there from Alex. He probably needs to be a bit aggressive, but easier said than done. You know, you can say get in the inside, get in the pocket. Alex seems to be making it, Eddie B is making it very challenging for him to get in the inside.
Yes, I think Eddie sort of upset his rhythm in that first round. So we'll see what happens this round, whether he settles down a bit more.
Well, Alex Cole, he just came firing into the ring like he was going to try and take on the 100-metre sprint.
Well, John did say these are sprints, 1.5. Alex, you know, he's probably been told you need to be aggressive, you need to get inside, break the guard of Eddie B. But it's one thing breaking the guard, then trying to match the southpaw. So you've got a bit of a concoction of the difficulty of one, looking out for those power shots, but also a long-rangey fighter. It's almost like he's got it twofold.
I think if Alexander was to throw the right rip to the body straight through the centre and come back with a long hook rather than a short hook, because Eddie's got his right hand low, so he can come over the top of that without too much trouble, but he's not throwing the second shot.
Eddie B doing a great job too, keeping him at range.
Oh, it's good. The aggression for a southpaw, it's good, impressive.
It's almost a nightmare mix, isn't it? A southpaw and an aggressive.
Yes, dead right.
So through that 1-2, moved off the side, now moving to the left. Great work here from Eddie B. Want to see Alex come out. This is his chance to do it, to take that NZ title.
While you're enjoying these highlights, it was, John, it was fascinating, well, not fascinating in the sense, but young Xavier making the effort to travel from Australia with his mum, do the quarantine.
She emailed me in September, October about this very thing and about what was required, who is to remain with the New Zealand development squad and the youth team. And I said, well, if possible, it would be good to have him box at the New Zealand Championships. I didn't really put any pressure on her, knowing full well the ramifications and the requirements. It was pretty demanding. And for him to be here after 2 weeks lockdown, etc., you know, that's some commitment.
Oh, absolutely.
But he is a real talent. I mean, a real talent. He's one of the best boxers in Australia, not just in New Zealand.
I don't know if you saw the start of that round, but once again they came sprinting out. Almost looked like Eddie B flew away from the shot there that Alex landed.
And the camera's picking it up to some degree, but you really need to have a quick look down at Eddie Richards' feet, Edward's feet. I mean, they are a gold, shiny boxing boot.
Yeah, it was probably a bit of a slip, but it certainly looked spectacular a way to start off the round. 30 to go, 1 minute down, or 1 minute to go, sorry.
Edward Richards, of course, current Canterbury Championship, South Island Golden Gloves champion both 2018, 19 and 20. Speaking of which, 21 bouts overall, so he's a well-conditioned young man.
What a fight it's been, and It's interesting to see too, you know, with Eddie B, he's shut him down, being an aggressive southpaw. I'm liking what I'm seeing here now from Alex. Could it be a little too late?
Yes, well, he's missing with that right hand. It's going over the top of Eddie's head guard.
Beautiful step away and jab. You wouldn't see that too much from an orthodox fighter, but relatively straightforward for a southpaw to step away and punch like that.
Eddie's boxed very well today. That was a very good bout. And I would congratulate his coach, who's probably one of the few female full-time coaches, and Holly Sullivan from Canterbury. She's a force to be reckoned with, and she's one of the most enthusiastic boxing coaches I know currently.
That's high praise.
She's well thought of, and she is very well organised, and she does a very good job indeed.
True champion in the sport, Holly. And the crowd they've brought with them as well. I mean, they're making up about a quarter of the supporters here.
Yeah, well, of course, you know, Auckland, Wellington, and Christchurch.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Edward Richards.
There you have it, Edward Richards.
Presenting the medals is Rex Jenkins. Rex is a life member of Boxing New Zealand, New Zealand Boxing Coaches Association, and the Central North Island Boxing Association. Rex has 46 years of coaching, who's a former New Zealand national coach and former national coach. Put your hands again together again, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the two boxers.
Well, there you have it, another final underway, or finished, I should say.
It's very nice to see the Canterbury team congratulate the boys who goes out as well.
Yeah, almost holding a guard of honour as they come in and a guard of honour as they walk back out again.
Very good. They are very patriotic, those Canterburyans.
I think over the tomorrow when the noise will start.
Oh, it'll be really good. Be really good.
Here we go. The next two boxers coming in. We'll jump down to Vinny, our ring announcer, to do the announcements and welcome both boxers into the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet Male 57 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Southland Boxing Association, Dylan Holland. And in the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Dayton Carwell.
Dayton Carwell from Tamaranui, Silverbacks Academy.
Your referee is Jack Tutuvanu.
I love it when they write things like, loves his mum. And so did Dylan Holland, actually. He's from Gore.
Going up again in weight, 57 kilograms, 1.5 minute rounds for the New Zealand title.
Getting their final instructions.
And Dayton's coach, Charlie Perez from Tamaranui, he's one of the guys, by talking about wanting to have the enthusiasm and the young coaches. He's done a dynamic job in that area over the last 2 years.
Both boys starting hard and fast. Orthodox fighters. Very tidy, very aggressive. And rightly so for the New Zealand title.
Keep saying you can't leave anything out in the back room, the warm-up area. You've got to bring it into the ring when you've only got 1.5 minutes per round.
Well, it's a quick sprint, and we've got Dylan here. He's a two-time South Island champ. Dayton, 2019 Hawke's Bay. Both boys have got pedigree.
Yeah, Dayton's got a little bit of a reach advantage. He's at 167 centimetres as opposed to 159 for Dylan. Whether he can take advantage of it.
I notice he switches from orthodox to southpaw as well. Southpaw now. Now he's turned to orthodox.
Yeah, that's a great thing to do. That's beautiful hook there from Dayton. Right overhand.
That's a very good first round.
Busy, 57 kilograms. Hard one to call, but I did like what I saw there from the man in blue. Dayton. Just a little bit more aggressive there as the bell went in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, the boys are not scared to stand toe-to-toe. It's when you get these close-up shots you realise how young these young fellas are. They
absolutely
from this distance it's hard to read, but
and the head guards sort of cover that a little. You look at their physique and you think they're much older than they are with the physique they have. And that's through really hard training, very disciplined.
Seconds out, round 2.
so as you can see, it's Dayton Nakawa in the blue corner, Dylan Holland in the red.
Hey, what a round that was. I mean, if that wasn't action-packed, what's round 2 going to be like? This is for the New Zealand Championship, the title, so you would expect nothing less. Both boys jabbing hard and fast. Bit of a tick-for-tack war at the moment. No one really up on each other.
No.
It's nice to see both boys working to the body as well as the head, so good variety of punches as well.
Most of these matches that we've been able to watch here on Sky Sport Next, these bouts have been absolutely non-stop. And again, we're back at it again all day tomorrow. We have a shorter afternoon session starting at 2, and then we're back on air again at 5 o'clock.
Big uppercut there from Dayton, just loaded that up, slightly missing. Nice shot though, both landing. You talked about variety too, John. He's going low, he's going high.
And Dayton's actually scoring very, very well. He's attacking the body and then coming up and managing to get, like there, a couple of good hooks in, and again.
He's boxing with authority.
Staying down.
Beautiful shots, beautiful finish. You see him, the momentum as well, so he'll throw the shots, then step back, then throw another one.
Yeah, good head movement as well, so he's moving away, getting his head out of danger, and then coming back with that counter punch, and the counter punch has been quite accurate.
It's almost instinctual as well. I mean, to do and throw a punch like that off the back foot again, it's something quite hard to teach. He's just naturally going for it.
I think we underestimate the amount of natural talent some of these kids have got. So hopefully we can keep them in boxing and they don't find another sport they want to do, because that would be not a good thing for us.
Tragic waste of talent.
Absolutely.
The way he moves, ducking and weaving, getting out of those punches, launching forward. He's got some natural flair, this boy.
Yeah, and remember, he's not very old. He's only a baby.
Seconds out, round 3.
This is the final. This is the third and final. Who wants this more? Dylan just taps himself on the chest as he goes in to take it to Dylan here in the red.
Yeah, he's mixing it up really well, as I say. He's attacking the body, coming down, and then heading upstairs, and he's connecting.
He is, yeah. Dylan has been given the message he's got to get a move on this round, so that's why he's moving forward a bit more than he was.
And of course, leave him a little susceptible if he's the aggression as opposed to... And again, you can see he's getting those right.
And Dayton stepping to the side, working his angles. It's good from a young man. He moved off the ropes there, out of the corner, away he went.
Beautiful guard there. He steps back and throws again. Seen some slick moves here from Dayton.
He's back to southpaw again. Now he's back to orthodox.
What a display of skill we're seeing here. 20 seconds to go. Well worthy of a final here. Ten seconds. Dayton, Dylan throwing down. Who's going to come away? New Zealand champ. We'll soon find out. What a fight. And I'm sure everyone watching back home enjoyed that one.
That was a good bout.
Holly Sutherland to the ring, please.
Yeah, the whole thing, of course, with it, Isaac, is that the boxing is only going to get, well, I shouldn't say better, because of course, you know, you're talking the weight divisions and the likes, but we've seen some fantastic boxing going on.
I think the standard we've seen today has been very good indeed.
So we'll just wait for the scorecards to come in.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Dayton Carwo. Presenting the medals is Holly Sutherland. Holly is the team manager for Canterbury team. She is the recipient of the 2018 Brian O'Brien Award, the head coach for Woolston Boxing for 10 years, and a Star 1 AIBA coach. Another round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations to our winner.
Boxers.
Well, Dr. John Mackay, thanks for joining us. We'll try and sort of grab you tomorrow at some stage if you've got some time.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Dr. John Mackay, of course, development manager, former manager for both Scotland and New Zealand, high performance manager, and of course, ex-New Zealand president of Boxing New Zealand. We'll jump down to Vinny and he can introduce us to our next two boxers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet Male 63 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Te Kotahitanga Te Tāwharo. And in the blue corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Lusa Berry.
He's from, East Side Boxing.
TK there in the red. Lusa Berry in the blue. This is a 1.5, 63 kilogram. Joining us as well, we've got
Peter George,
special guest Manny Pole, 18 fights as an amateur, former North Island champ, or Golden Glove champ, South Island Golden Glove champ, and national boxing champion. Manny P, welcome along.
Kia ora, Brent. Thanks for having me here.
You're very welcome. So, of course, you've not had a lot of, you've been working, so you've managed to get away, you've finished for the weekend, and you're about to get into it.
Too right. So we've been doing a little bit of work in the background, helping out Steve with some social media here, and now I'm pretty excited to watch these fights and get into it.
Well, we've been watching and witnessing some absolutely stunning fighting with these young amateurs.
What stood out for you too, Manny, with some of these fights so far? What's been one of the favourites or the highlights for you?
I've really been enjoying all the bouts, to be honest. Everyone's just really brought it to the finals, and it's been fantastic.
Well, look at these two going. I mean, it's just starting straight up.
I mean, look at these guys, it's toe-to-toe. You know, usually they start off a little bit slow and conservative, but this ain't one of them.
No, they're not. Oh, yeah, he's got a standing 8 already.
Well, a little bit early there. I was just enjoying the action with that one. What about you guys?
Yeah, I reckon. I think it was fair. They were both throwing punches, but I think that the referee got it right there.
TK in the red, Lusa there in the blue, and it's an absolute war from the get-go. One of those really hard ones to judge and score. I'm so glad I'm up here and not judging any of these fights.
They really aren't holding back here, Isaac. They're really going for it.
And you'll be watching some of these fights quite closely, Manny. I mean, you coming back this year, what weight is that going to be at?
So I'm looking back at the 69 kg category boys. So I was watching a few of the bouts this afternoon, and they're looking strong and they're looking fit. So I've got a lot of work to put in this year, but I'll be there.
I don't mean to scare you, but that's one of the scariest divisions here in New Zealand boxing.
Oh, it is.
Well, speaking of scary, this has been an absolutely scary round. 10 seconds to go. TK in the red, Lusa in the blue. What a war. Too hard to judge, but I'm loving the action so far.
Well, I think where they're lucky at the moment is, of course, if he's had the standing count, you get 3 of those in the same bout. The referee has to stop the fight, so he'd be looking at real closely. So
look at this replay.
So with these shorter rounds and time-wise, it does let them off the hook a little bit, not a heck of a lot, but.
Well, John Mackay made a good point. You know, it's a sprint, and Manny, you would have had experience in these sprints as well. When you did start off at the lower levels, you have to go from the get-go. You don't want to save anything for later rounds or even later parts of the tournament, right?
That's right, Isaac, that's right. So both boxers, I'm sure, have been told by their coaches is go up there and give it hell. But I think in the second round, we're probably going to see them just slow it back a little bit and just test each other out, and then they'll start throwing again.
Somehow, I don't think that's going to happen.
Round 2.
I mean, they came in guns blazing. I mean, I think all they can do is bring out the second lot of artillery and let rip.
We'll see.
We had Lawrence on here earlier too. We were asking him to score the fight, and we're going to do that to you too at times, man. It seems like the guest commentator...
Yeah, we always put the pressure on the guest.
I like it. Bring it.
So you're going to flip a coin, or what are your thoughts for that first round?
Oh, I reckon Red got that one.
Look at this fight. These guys are just standing, banging, slugging it out. 1 minute to go. This is worthy of a final. How can you not love the action so far? I mean, look, they haven't taken the foot off the gas. TK there in the red, Lusa in the blue. You can't say it's too one-sided at this stage. Someone may have got it in the first round, but this round is fairly even as well. Nice shot there from TK landing right on the button of Lusa.
You're wishing you were in there, Manny?
Oh yeah, no, it's bringing back some good memories.
Nice shot there again from Lusa. I mean, look, you think one guy's got it, then another lands. Once again, another tough night for the judges.
Oh, very, very difficult. Because, I mean, these guys aren't trying to sort each other out, work it out, what they're going to do. They're just going out there and going for it.
And you can see that you can see TK is walking Lusa down, but Lusa is just answering back with every flurry of punches there.
Bit of a jumping uppercut, body shot, head shot there. Anything goes at times.
I think he thought it was all over. But no. You've got another round to go, my friend. So,
and I bet this is bringing back memories, Manny. I mean, you would have been in some finals, obviously winning the Golden Gloves, North Island, South Island. What was the hardest? Was it the North or the South?
I think the North was definitely the hardest. I think the South was a few of the local boys that I knew down there. So I've just recently moved up to the North Island. So it's a bit of a test now, changing up the styles and the different coaches and the different athletes here.
The Southerners aren't going to like that, and I've got a lot of supporters here tonight. Canterbury, loud and proud.
Very, very loud and proud, and I think I'm very excited for the finals tomorrow. I think there's going to be a few more noise here.
All those
seconds out, round 3.
Watching back home too. What a fantastic fight. This is the final for the 63 Cadet kilogram champ. 1.5 minute rounds. TK in the red, Lusa there in the blue as we go to the third and final. Big right overhand there from Lusa.
yeah, there's quite a bit of support come up from Tamaranui. Or come down, I should say.
I mean, there's no jabbing. This is just straight hooks. They're just going at it, standing and banging. I mean, is this your approach to fights, Manny, or are you a bit conservative? Or are you going to go in like this?
So I guess as you get more experience, you sort of ease up and sit back and throw. But these, I guess when I was still learning and still doing a few early fights, we would just go in there and we'd throw everything we can, especially in these shorter rounds. We're told you go out there and you go and win it. So these guys are doing really, really well, and it just shows how fit they are, that they can keep throwing punches like this.
Yeah, well, Dr. John Mackay was saying exactly that. Their trainers have really worked on their condition, and it's showing here with 30 seconds to go in round number 3.
Well, you make a good point. You can't jab it out. You can't be too conservative. This is a sprint. 25 seconds to go. And who wants this more? Who wants to take away that New Zealand champ?
And Barry in the blue is just throwing pretty much all his body weight, as much as he can get into the punch. I think he may feel that he might be a little bit behind.
Another big hook there from Barry. Body shots from TK. What a war. They're going right till the final clapper. We're going to put the pressure on you, Manny. How do you call that one? Are you going to flip a coin, or are you going to choose a decider?
Danny Meehan to the ring, please.
I definitely think it's going to be a split decision here, but I'd happily flip a coin on this one. It's too close to call.
I'm going to get hold of the reserve bank. The way we've been doing it today, no one's to take it. We're tossing 50. What do you start off with? 50-cent coins?
Yeah. Well, Lawrence found a 20-cent coin.
I found a 20. Yeah.
We'll work our way up.
Hey, but both boys, they've got to be proud of themselves, their trainers, their family, everyone watching back home. That was an absolute war, well worthy of a final and for that NZ title.
Stay with us with Sky Sport Next if you're enjoying the New Zealand Amateur Boxing Championships. This is the down to a judge's decision.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision 4-1. In the red corner, representing Central North Island Boxing Association, Te Kotahitanga Te Tāwharo.
There you have it.
Presenting the medals is Danny Meehan. Danny is a 4 times New Zealand champion, a 2 times Australasian champion, and the 1980 Jameson belt holder. Put your hands together again. Thank you, gentlemen, for both fighters.
I bet young TK, he's a really, really lovely young man.
Hey, what a performance, what a win. That was super entertaining, and he's got to be proud of himself after that performance. You called it, split decision, Manny. Good call.
Thanks, mate. No, I think both boxers did extremely well there, and the standard, as you said earlier, is really, really high.
Now let me get a funny feeling if you can hear the background noise. There's another Canterbury boxer coming up. They get right into it. So then you're just getting into it. So we'll head down to our ring announcer if Vinny can actually hear us over the noise of these drums. Vinny, it's all yours.
Boxers to the ring, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet male 66 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Suli Iketau.
He's fighting out of the
and in the blue
Burnham
corner,
Boxing Club.
representing Hawke's Bay Boxing Association, Hadley McDougall.
Hadley's trained by his
The
father,
referee
Craig.
is John Ensor.
So again, these rounds are only 1.5 minutes. So they don't do anything by halves. They literally come out with ever-ready batteries in their back and just rip into it.
And that's what we love about these 1.5s. It's a quick sprint. They don't save too much for the road home because they have to charge forward and throw it all out there in these quick rounds.
Now, Sully is a southpaw, and Hadley is, we've been told, is orthodox. Now, there's a distinct height advantage here.
Interesting enough, we saw a fight earlier where the southpaw was taller and aggressive. We're seeing in this fight that the southpaw is the shorter of the two. Let's see how the taller fighter Hadley counteracts this. Interesting to see, he's just jabbing out. He's a bit more busy. Southpaw there, Sully there in the red.
And if Hadley just is able to keep that that reach advantage that he's got, stay in the centre of the ring, and make Sully actually work hard for it.
And I'm liking Sully's movement here. He's in and out. He's not getting too close. He's just feeling Hadley out. So it would be really, really good ground, I think.
I think it's also important to mention Sully is a 220 South Island Golden Glove champ against Hadley, who's a 2-time North Island Golden Glove champ. So both these boys have certainly got the accolades. Let's see how they go now with just under 45 to go.
Sully has let us know that he'd like to put a shout out to his mum and dad and family down in Burnham.
Always interesting too, seeing a Southpaw Orthodox. What do you say, Manny, when you are fighting in there? Because you being a Southpaw? Sorry, an Orthodox fighter? So what do you say when you're fighting a Southpaw?
So I've always tried to get on the outside of them and just change their angles, because they are quite awkward to box against. But I found just getting on the outside of them, moving in and out, it makes it a little bit easier for you. So I think Hadley here is doing the right thing, just moving in and out, keeping his jab busy, and then that's causing some problems here for Sully.
You know, you can train too for a southpaw, but it makes things that much more tricky when they switch hit and do different things. He almost did a switch stance there, but didn't quite commit. But busy round, too close to call. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the southpaw Sully.
Yeah, well, Hadley's has, I'm just having a look here, New Zealand Golden Gloves Cadet champion back last year in the 66 kg 2020. Now, I know we might sound like we're repeating ourselves, but we are getting asked a lot. Why are we saying is that the 2020 New Zealand Amateur Boxing Championships, it's quite simple. A horrible thing called COVID hit the world, and the championships had to be put off until 2021. So there will actually be 2 championships this year. One, the next one, date I don't think has yet been confirmed, but it is definitely going to be held in Whanganui. So, but date as yet not confirmed. So we haven't lost our marbles.
Seconds out, round 2.
We are
you sure?
Well, actually, good point. Ask me that tomorrow
Manny,
night.
we're talking a lot about this, and when the poster came out, you know, we had a few calls. We had a few people say, 2020, it's 2021, what's going on here?
Yeah, no, I think a few people reached out to us and said, no, have you got this wrong? We said, no, COVID. So I think we're pretty lucky to have 2 nationals here this year. So we'll see these boxers again, no doubt.
Sully starting aggressively, but Hadley's had a bit of a kickstart. He's coming out now with the jab. Should be using that reach. You know, he is a taller fighter. It is harder against a southpaw, but he's got that reach, and he should be taking advantage of it.
May not be as noticeable on our screens, on your screen at home or your computer, but here in the ring, or just looking down on it, it's quite obvious that Hadley's got that height advantage and the reach, but he's just got to start using it a little bit more. He's going to get clipped.
Well, he did start using it, and he is starting to throw a bit more. That uppercut, those straightforward punches. It's good. You know, whatever the coach said in the middle of the round, he's listening. But, you know, Sully's closing that distance. He's exploding, and he has to because he is a shorter fighter. Just missing there with the left.
And again, Sully's just really moving his feet well. He's in and out. He's moving his head. He's moving his shoulders. So it's making it hard for Hadley to get to him. But I think this is really going well.
20 seconds again. I mean, these rounds are absolutely flying by. Another close round. Hard to call. 10-second clapper. Beautiful finish here from Hadley.
Nice exchange. Really nice exchange there.
And that, you know, Manny, speaking from experience, you know in that last 10-20 seconds, the way you throw, the aggression can help you win that round.
Yeah, it's right. And I think sometimes the judges are looking for who's the more aggressor, and sometimes they're looking for just the clean shots and the movement. So in those last 10 seconds, you just really let it go and see what you can land.
Hey, and speaking of that, Hadley certainly did that in that last 10-20 seconds.
He definitely did.
So 18 bouts for you as an amateur?
Yes, 18 bouts, yes.
And you're climbing back into it again?
Yeah, so I had a wee break over university, and I decided that I'm going to come back, and I'm cutting weight at the moment and looking at that 69 kg category, which I was telling Isaac earlier, and they're looking hot. So it's going to be a good few months of getting training in.
Well,
seconds out,
Isaac,
round
it was, we were talking about it. So was that Christmas with too much pavlova and ham sandwiches?
Yeah, that may have played a part of it.
Oh, hat off to you. I mean, we're talking to Troy earlier. She had to cut that. All the fighters. Did you actually hold off from the Christmas cake and pav?
Oh, a little bit. You know, you've got to enjoy yourself. But I did start training, I think Boxing Day. I went out for a bit of a run and then started getting into shape, but yeah, still managed to get my fingers into some pavlova.
Well, this is the final round with Hadley, McDougall and Sully. Ikatau.
Championship fight, championship round. Who wants to take away the NZ title? Who's it going to be? Sully in the red or Hadley in blue? Fairly contentious fight, very even so far. But I am seeing Hadley come forward, slightly edge forward on the points perhaps.
And the boys from Canterbury will start getting very, very vocal in about 10 seconds flat.
Yeah, I bet.
Their voices start to be heard.
Big crowd from the Cantabrians. I'm sure a lot of people are watching down south as well. Here on Sky Sport Next, 30 seconds to go. Who wants this more? Sully in the red, Hadley in the blue.
A 10-second clapper ready to go, of course. And then it's
Big shot.
rubbing overhead.
Just launching, throwing down.
Well done.
Great into a great bout with those two young boxers.
See the power too with Hadley. You know, he's throwing them with venomous intentions near the end. Let's see how the judges score this one.
No, I'm just going to do
Paul McSherry to the ring,
what
please.
John Mackay said. You can always tell by the trainers if who you feel them. The way that Hadley McDougall's camp came flying up, I think they may think they've got an advantage on this one. As you say, we're up the top of the balconies here. They're closer to the action.
Great fight, well worthy of a final. Loved the aggression and display from both fighters there in the end. What a fight.
I'll head down to Vinny and he...
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Hawke's Bay Boxing Association, Hadley McDougall.
I think I'm going to try John
Presenting the medals
Mackay's
is Paul
angle of doing
McSherry.
things instead
Paul is
of
the president of the Auckland
just
Boxing
keep an eye on the
Association.
trainers.
No, that's a good call. And you can tell, you know, you look at the fighter, you know, how he's looking, how he's feeling. But you're right, the look on the coaches or the guys in the corner is sometimes a dead
Please put
giveaway.
your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for both boxers. Thank you.
If we go to the replay now, Sully fighting as best he can on the back foot, but Hadley walking him down, throwing those shots, using that reach.
And I really like what Hadley did there with his jab. He just kept throwing it out, setting his shots up, and Sully did the best he can to miss them, but Hadley took it out today.
And you know how tough it is, Manny. I mean, you're not the tallest, and I can say that because I'm a short guy as well. And you've got to be aggressive, eh? It's hard when you're fighting a tall, long, rangy fighter.
You really do.
So we'll head down to Vinny, our ring announcer, who I have to say has done an absolutely outstanding job.
The following is a finals bout contested in the Cadet male 70 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Jacob Nuia. And in the blue corner, representing Boxing Canterbury Metro, Josh Tonga.
And of course this again will be 1.5 minute rounds. And Vinny is a local lad from around town.
Is Ina Schuster.
Both boys going up again in weight, just above you, Manny. 70 kilograms, 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, Isaac. So if I don't make that 69, this could be my category.
And geez, I mean, I'm trying to judge the height now. I mean, I know I joked about height before. I think you're taller than me, Manny. But how about these guys? About 6 foot.
Yep, they're a little bit taller, and just to answer your question earlier, so yeah, what I've always tried to do is just get in close, slip their jab and try and get a bit closer to them to sort of squash their range. Sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. I think the last boxer, Hadley, was really good at keeping his range with the shorter Sully, so you've got to try and get in close.
Finals time now. Both boys very tall, very rangy. It's going to be interesting to see both styles. You know, they're quite similar. So let's see how they go down this 1.5.
And Josh was starting out strong there.
Josh in the blue, Jacob in the red. Sure you'll be watching this one too quite closely, Manny. 1 kilo up, 1 kilogram up.
Oh, I'm watching.
One more slice of Pab.
I was close. I was definitely close.
What a display we're seeing so far. Josh bringing the heat.
Straight through to it. Jacob, of course, boxing out of the Phoenix Boxing Club in Auckland.
Let's not forget Josh there, 3 and 5, representing Canterbury Metro, a 2019 South Island novice champ.
Yeah, and Josh, Christchurch Boys High, started boxing around 6 years ago. Oh, sorry, when he was 6 years old.
Beautiful angles, got him in the corner, moved to the right, to the left, sinking those shots. What a way to finish. Once again, too, we talked about it earlier, Manny, when you finish that round strong, it certainly is in favour for the judges.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. So they want to see you pick that pace up in the second and third round so you can keep their confidence going, confident in that decision.
Also, too, getting him in the corner, you know, if you are to get in the corner like that, it's your intention to keep them in there, but as the person on the other side, you want to get out of there as quick as possible.
Oh, exactly. You want to change the angles and find the space there and try and turn them back around into the corner. It's harder to do than it is to say sometimes, but that's usually what you want to go for.
So the boys are the winners of each one, of course, gets presented. There you'll look at those, apart from the medals. These are the trophies that the boxers are competing for. There is one that is missing, and I've been told by no uncertain terms that Steve Hartley said, I'm not bringing that in until the last minute. So that's a bit of a surprise.
We go now round 2 for the final 70 kilogram cadet male. Jacob in the red, Josh in blue.
So Manny, we're going to be expecting to see you competing later this year?
Yes, you definitely will be. I'm definitely eyeing up the next comp. I'm not sure when it will be. Hopefully within the next 6 months though, so you'll definitely be seeing me soon.
So any chance you can convince Isaac Savage to be your sparring partner?
I've tried already, He said no.
No? You didn't read the small print, huh?
It's good though to have you up here, Manny, and you know, we'll be having you up here as a commentator next time, whether you're boxing in there or not. But until then, you just have to be cutting weight and cutting down on the sushi.
Cutting down, that's right.
Josh Tonga is seeming to get a little bit more aggressive.
Jacob's making a little bit better use of his jab there. He's fouled him out in that first round, and he's starting to find his range a little bit. Nice shot there from Josh.
The referee's keeping a very close eye on this. As I said, they're not shy of coming forward when it comes to if they have to put in a standing 8. We keep harking on about this to some degree, but it is purely and simply Boxing New Zealand's rules in relation to safety for those boxers. It's the priority number 1. And the referees themselves, when they meet each morning, they've gone through it, they know what they're expected to do, and they don't hesitate at all.
Safety first. Hey, look, everything's been above board. We haven't seen anything too outrageous. Never do with the Nationals. It's always a good display of boxing. Speaking of that now, as we go ready for round 3, who wants this more? How are we seeing this fight go so far?
I'm thinking it's going Josh's way so far. He's been more of the aggressor and throwing more punches. I think if Jacob comes out and throws more of his jabs, a double left and maybe a right hand, that'll just start giving him a little bit more confidence and start landing some more shots there.
Jacob there in the red, Josh in the blue, and he is slowly coming forward now, starting to own and dominate slightly. Nice movement there, switch hip, moving that head, getting down the range of those shots from Jacob.
Josh is now starting to really mix it up.
Great movement for both fighters. Still a busy round, but Josh certainly bringing, nice head movement as well.
Nice body shots there from Josh.
And Nina's seen enough now for a count.
Exactly what we were saying, 30 seconds ago. They see something they're not happy with, the referees will give a standing 8. And if they receive 3 in the one round, if she stops it, she can determine whether or not the fight goes on.
And Josh is really putting the heat on there.
Yeah, he's putting the heat on. And if he's... Yep, here she goes.
Another count. Good call there from Ina Schuster.
She's going to keep a very close look on this young fella, and she's going to make a decision when she gets to 8 whether or not she's going to call it. No, she's happy. So with only 6 seconds to go.
Big shots here from Josh. He's trying to finish this.
Yep.
What a performance.
I think if there was another 20, 30 seconds to go in that round, she would have stepped in and said, no, I'm not going to do it. I think. So I think we'd all agree that would be going towards Josh Tonga.
Yeah, I think so. Yep, he just put on a great performance there. He was the busier fighter, and I think he well deserved for this one.
So we will get very shortly head down. I've just got a note sent up to me. It's actually quite interesting, Isaac, that we've got to say how handsome our ring announcer is, but I'm trying to see where I saw that.
And fantastic job from Vinny P.
Shall we? Well, let's drop down to Vinny. Now we've embarrassed him somewhat.
The camera's on him.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, representing Boxing Canterbury Metro, Josh Tonga. The medals, will be presented by Matthew McGrath. Matthew is the secretary of New Zealand Boxing Coaches Association, a qualified R&J, qualified supervisor, and the scoring operator of national championships.
Oh, again,
another round of applause, please,
Great
for both boxers.
Oh, it's beautiful to see. Let him out the ring. New Zealand champ. What a performance here from Josh. It was amazing and well deserved.
The organisers wish to acknowledge and thank the following sponsors.
So as we cut away from just at the moment, but of course with the championships, we're back on air with Sky Sport Next at 2 o'clock tomorrow, as opposed to what we've been doing for the last 3 days is 1 o'clock. So we're jumping back an hour. So it's 2 o'clock, and then the evening session will start again at 5 o'clock. And we'll be going through.
That's right, no matter where you are, what you're doing, tune in live tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
We'll head down to our ring announcer again, and he'll introduce our next fighters. And these are 2-minute rounds now, so 3 2-minute rounds. We're just stepping up another 30 seconds.
The following is a finals bout contested in the junior male 48 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Masterton and Districts Association, Miles Garrett. And in the blue corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Klawi Beauchamp.
Now, Klawi is the defending New Zealand champ, New Zealand rep in 2019.
Your referee is Jack Tutuvanu.
And his goal is to turn pro. So he's made that decision very early. He's the current New Zealand champion, 2019. He's had 21 bouts. And he's the current Canterbury champion and New Zealand Golden Gloves champion as well.
This is going to be an absolute brawl. Look at these boys, a serious stare down. They're only 48 kilograms, but we're stepping up. This is 3 by 2s. Also important to mention, Quiley is the son of Nortbo champ, NZPBA lightweight, WBF Intercontinental lightweight, and IBO Oceania champ. So he's got a bit of experience behind him. But
yeah, and look who his trainer is.
There you go. And that's Miles. You know, we had Lawrence in here earlier. I was speaking to old Miles earlier, and he's got the nickname Ramen Noodle. And I said, why do you like ramen noodles? He said, no, because of my hair. So if you look at his hair, he's been called that, and that's his nickname because of the hair. But
well, if you're going to swap nicknames, what about burgers?
Yeah, well, that's coming up, isn't it? That's Quiley.
Yeah,
that's Quiley.
He's burgers.
So we've got burgers and ramen, but jokes aside, Quiley there in the blue, Miles in the red. This is going to be an absolute showdown. 3-2s for the NZ national title. Quiley's certainly got the support too from CBA. A lot of experience up his sleeve. Interesting enough.
Well, by the time we complete today, we would have had 57 bouts since we began. And it's, as they say, only just beginning.
Both boys are definitely not afraid to stand there in the middle and exchange.
No, Quiley just threw a lovely right hand over and connected well onto Miles.
Like how Quiley is very solid with that jab, double jab, throws with the right. Very strong in that stance against Miles, aka Ramen Noodles.
Counting down for that final. There we go, the 10-second clappers.
Look at the movement here from Quiley. You know, for such a young guy, he's showing some very slick boxing skills. As we go to the replay now, beautiful double follow-up jab there from Quiley. Miles doing his best to keep him at bay, but Quiley's certainly the aggressor of these two. Lawrence there in the corner, giving some words of advice, some wisdom. We had him up here earlier, and it was great having him in the commentary box, having sparred a lot of the fighters, even David Nika the other day.
Yeah, I mean, even sparring with David, I mean, you just got to start to wonder. He is a monster.
Certainly is.
And Lawrence is no small guy.
He's a big man, but
he's a big unit.
Seconds out, round 2.
So both are orthodox boxers. See what the next 2 minutes is going to bring. So far, I'd say it's reasonably even.
Yeah, that was a really tough round to call.
Liking the aggression here now from Miles. He's probably been told, step it up, get this guy, put him in trouble, make him feel uncomfortable. Because I slightly edged that forward for the guy in blue in the first round.
Getting a little bit loose on it just at the moment.
Nice hooks there from Quiley. Miles, though, he's pumping out that jab. He's certainly got a bit more pace as we get into round 2.
Nice little combo there from Quiley.
Good work rate from both guys. This is a longer round, though, so they're not coming out guns blazing like these 1.5s, but still the work rate's relatively high.
Yeah, they are. As you say, they've got to pace themselves. They know, even though it is a final, they've got those 3 rounds. They don't want to blow it out in the first round, and maybe they're just sort of buttoning it off just a fraction.
Nice parry there from Quiley. Always good to see, you know, switch hitting, parries and feints. All adds to the arsenal of the sweet science. Oh, throws the hands out, then throws down. He's coming in again. Miles. Quiley saying, I'm going to have any of that. He throws down with a couple of right left hooks.
It was quite nice footwork there from Quiley. He got out of the corner, he got back into the centre of the ring, and he's back in the spot he wants to be in.
Beautiful footwork, you know, he throws in and out.
few big right hands there from Carly. I'm really liking the way Miles took that round. He was really working that jab and he was throwing a lot more clean shots.
Strong finish from Kwali, but still a well-contested match.
And Miles Garrett, of course, out of the Wairarapa Boxing Academy in Masterton. So, Manny, yourself, if you were boxing and you're one of these young fellas, you're in their corner, what would you be telling either one of the boys?
I think, yeah, it's the last round. You know, bring the heat up. You know, really get in there and give it your all. I think both boxers have displayed really, really good boxing in the last 2 rounds. They've really brought it on. So I would expect them just to go out there and give it all.
Seconds out, round 3.
Here we go now for the title. NZ title, that is. 2-minute rounds, 48 kilograms. Sorry,
Make or break.
52. Nope, 48. Make or break, yep, well put.
Make or break. The young fellas are sort of saying, well, the corners have said it's pretty much even, and I would say it's even at the moment, man.
I'd say it's even. I think it comes down to this round. Nice right hand there from Tyler.
Good parry. He needs to be busy, but Miles coming forward now. This is tit for tat.
They're really going back and forth at each other. They're really, really sticking it up now. Miles is really liking the uppercut as well. It seems to be landing there on Carly's chin.
Good double right. And you're right, he threw that uppercut before and then followed up with a couple of double rights. Both boys just standing right in the middle.
They are letting it go. Nice double jab there.
Lawrence is saying, come on.
How good is it too to have this all live? I mean, back when you were boxing, Manny, how did people film? Was it just on the video camera, the cell phone?
Yeah, the video camera or the cell phone, and then you'd maybe cheekily watch that footage back, but sometimes a little bit further away, and half the time your parents or your friends are watching the fight and filming, so sometimes it's not quite on centre, but it's great to have Sky Sport Next here filming this.
All the boxers have made comment that they can go home, back to their motel or accommodation or Airbnb and watch what the replay or their bout was like and get some idea what their opponent was doing.
30 seconds to go now. Kwali there in the blue, Miles in the red. Both boys thrown down in the middle of the ring. No hugging, no slouching. This is action-packed.
As the vocal support from the Canterbury team starts to really wind up.
Big shots there from Kwali. Another big right.
Oh, and again he got that flush.
That was a really, really good display of boxing there. Very, very impressive.
Well worthy of a final.
Greg Weenink to the ring, please.
So there you get an idea. As soon as that headgear gets off, you actually get some indication of how young these fellas are.
Hard to believe too, they're only 48 kilograms. They look a lot bigger. Young guns, 48 kegs.
So of course these are all finals at the moment, which you're watching, or we've been watching since 5 o'clock really. And again, we kick off tomorrow. So I'll just head down to our ringside announcer, Vinny.
We have a decision, ladies and gentlemen, the winner by split decision 4-1. In the blue corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Kwali Beauchamp. The medals will be presented by Greg Weenink, who is a 2 times New Zealand champion, Oceania gold medalist, Commonwealth Cup silver medalist, and a referee and judge at these current nationals.
Well, there you have it.
Put your hands together once more for both fighters.
Like father, like son, Nort Beauchamp. We're proud of his son, Kwali. What a win. And if he's this good at this age, what's he going to be when he grows up?
Oh, I reckon he's going to do really, really well in the future. And I think his dad, Nort, who I know quite well as well, will be very, very, very proud of that performance.
Do the Canterbury boys still talk to you now that you've immigrated to the North Island?
They do talk to me, but they say, we'll see you in the ring, mate.
See you in the ring.
Hey, what a display that was. And it's only going to get better. We've got 3 fights to go, all finals.
So we're jumping up just a little bit in weight to the 52 kilogram junior men's. And we'll head back down to Vinny and introduce us to both boxers coming in, as I say, for this 52 kilogram bout.
The following is a finals bout contested in the junior male 52 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Leon Gibson.
Or as he likes to be referred to,
in the blue
Marmite.
corner, representing Masterton and Districts Association, Austin Butler. Your referee is Sunita Lalu.
So, of course, Leon Gibson, orthodox. He's a Canterbury champion in 2018 and 19 and three New Zealand titles. And he's also worn the silver fern.
Important to mention too, both these boys fought yesterday, and what we're trying to do with the tournament is have the fight split up. But Manny, you know, you fought in the past. What's it like? Would you prefer to fight twice in a day, have that adrenaline still going through your body, or wait again and fight the next day?
Oh, definitely wait and fight the next day. It's very, very hard to sort of wind down and then pick yourself back up again for an afternoon fight. But it's these boys are still really, really, really fit, and they're coming each day and performing really well.
So this is for the final now. 3 twos, 52 kilograms. Austin there in the blue, Leon in the red. Big shot there from Leon, landing nice and early. Just stalking Austin down, trying to show that dominance early.
Yeah, Leon's managed to land a couple like that, step back and come forward really very quickly on his feet. Austin's probably just trying to work out, now way am I going to approach this?
Let's not forget Leon in the red is a 2-time New Zealand national champ, so he's got the experience and he's trying to dominate this or display that early here in round 1.
Yes, absolutely, and again, not holding anything back.
Austin's really doing well there. He's changing the angles. He's moving around Leon. He's definitely making it hard for him. But Leon seems to keep the pressure up.
And that's the thing too, you know, you want to win the rounds early. You want to show that dominance to try edge forward at least the first 2 and slightly taper off in the third, or take it to him for all 3 rounds.
And that last jab of Leon Gibson up with Austin snapped his head back. You could actually see it go back. The judges would have picked that up very quickly.
Bit of a tape malfunction there. They'll just rip that off or retape. Slight breather for the boys as we get down to the 22nd clapper. Nice jab there. Well, right body
Nice
shot to the
left
bread
hand
basket.
Yeah, he's getting the standing 8. But he'll be saved, I'd say, by the bell.
Look at Leon, he's ready to go. He doesn't want this round to go or finish. 10 seconds to go. Is he going to get another count? Or is this going to go through to round 2?
No, I thought he'd got out of jail on that one.
Doesn't even want to sit down. He's still sort of throwing punches there in the corner.
I think that count revived him a little bit there.
Well, you talked about having a day's break, and it's certainly done him a favour and the energy levels, because he is coming out guns blazing.
Yeah, and for those who may have missed our previous days of broadcast, some of these boxers literally boxed 24 hours ago. So they've done their first one and then they're back in the ring again. So it's taking its toll, but they're showing us how it's all done, just with that sheer amount of training that they've put into it.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, Manny, how did you go through it? You've had the experience. You've fought twice in a day before and the day after?
Yep, done both. So, and we're pretty lucky here with where we're having the Nationals in Porirua, where the boys, they can go to the pool, they can get in the sauna, and they can go home, recover, and get some food into them.
Speaking of recovery now, are we going to see this go the distance? Leon was dominant there in the last part of the round. Austin's had a round to recover. How's it going to go against the very aggressive Leon Gibson here in the red?
Yeah, well, he definitely won't want another standing 8, that's for sure.
Leon certainly putting the pressure on early. Nice right overhand. Another count. Safety first.
She's looking in his eyes. She's happy.
Austin's good to go. He's hanging in there, but Leon is certainly showing dominance this early on in the final. Another big shot.
Well, he's shown the fact that he has been a New Zealand champion before.
And he's Leon's really kept this pace up really, really high.
Just stalking his prey. Austin doing a good job. However, I do see Leon slightly edging forward now. It's time to show who's boss. Big shot there.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's got 44 seconds on this round to go. This might come to an abrupt end.
See the timing too of Leon. He's in and out, staying out of the way of any shot that Austin has to offer. Big uppercut.
Just missed.
.20 seconds to go. Austin will survive another round, but Leon certainly showing some dominance. Hey, nice little shot there from Austin.
Yeah, these Canterbury boys have really represented their district exceptionally well, Andy.
Oh, yeah, man, and you can hear from the crowd that they're really, really in behind these boxers.
As you see the highlights now, of course, Leon Gibson in red up against Austin Butler. Nick Watson is the trainer for Leon Gibson. Getting the last instructions as we'll get you to set your alarm clock for tomorrow. We're starting at 2 o'clock, not 1 o'clock. You may have read somewhere at 1:30. It's 2 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be back here on Live Sport, Sky Sport Next. And again, then 5 o'clock tomorrow evening.
Hey, it's the weekend, so no excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
No excuses. Lock it in.
Don't mow the lawn. Mow the lawns early.
Who cares about the lawn? Lock it in. Boxing's on.
It's Wellington anniversary weekend, so exactly no excuse. You have to watch the boxing. Mow the lawns next weekend.
Yeah. Boxing's #1 over this weekend. Look at this, Leon coming through now. Just adjusting that headgear. 2-minute rounds. These boys are 52 kilograms, even though they look a lot heavier. And I'm sure you'd agree on that, man. They don't look 52, do they? They probably walk around 55.
It's that height, and obviously you, when you come to nationals about 6 weeks out, you go to your camp and you start cutting back on that weight. So these boys will be in top shape.
Big shot again from Leon.
He turned very quickly.
Leon just stalking his prey, bringing it to Austin.
Austin's doing really well here, holding his own. He's throwing his left hand out and keeping Leon at bay as much as he can.
Yeah, well, as we keep saying it, we probably sound a little repetitive, don't mean to, but these guys realise this is a national title. They've only got the 6 minutes in the ring to do it.
Well, that's the thing too. We talked about it with Lawrence earlier. Just getting in and getting to this level is an achievement in itself, and just stepping through the rings once in your life, or whether it be 10 times, is a big ask, because not many people out there will do it.
Yeah, it looks like the mouth guard. Has he got a little bit of claret? No, mouth guard.
And I'm sure you can agree on this, Manny. No matter if you've jumped in 10 times, you still get those nerves.
Oh, you definitely do, but nerves are good. They keep you sharp, and it allows you to put on a great performance.
Has he been given a warning for dropping
Austin coming out, wanting to finish this round Strong. Hardy's throwing everything. Good finish from both boys. I mean, I would have loved to have seen that a bit earlier.
Yeah, that
from
aggression.
Austin. But what a finish, what a display. And hey, it is for the national title.
Yeah, I don't think Leon, however, gave him the opportunity. I think he is using that jab really well. Just keeping him at bay, keeping him at bay. And I think that, of course, you know, with the timing of the bout, e.g. the 2 minutes, you can't start off with any sort of hesitation. I think you've got to go for it, go for gold straight away.
That's right. I think sometimes the experience can sort of edge your opponent if they're not as experienced as you. Just knowing what it's like to be at nationals and the pressure and knowing that, you know, only got 6 minutes sometimes or less time or more time, but you really got to go in there and really work hard.
I'm loving what I've seen from both fighters here. I mean, Austin, what a performance. He came out
and carried on. We'll just head down to Vinny as he's got the results.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Leon Gibson. The medals will be presented by Graham Clifford. Graham is a Star 1 AIBA referee and judge, the president of the Wellington Hutt Valley Association, and 2 times New Zealand light middleweight champion.
Well, that makes Leon now 3-time New Zealand national champ. What a performance.
Put your
What a
hands
win.
together again, please, ladies and gentlemen, for both boxers.
And it'll be interesting to see at the next nationals because I think he'll have a target on his back, and so I think these boys may meet again.
Yeah. That was actually mentioned to us earlier in the day. They say, once you've won one, look out. It's not so much defending your title, it's who's coming after you.
That's
Again,
right.
beautiful display of sportsmanship. Austin lowered the rope for the guy that just beat him for the national title. Looking forward to seeing more out of Austin, but tonight Leon was champ.
Boxers to the ring, please.
Well, they can only but learn. That's the thing. That's the only part with the boxing is every time they get into a full bout, they're going to learn something or take away from a loss and think, here we go. Just head down to Vinny. We've got 2 more bouts to go.
The following is a finals bout contested in the junior male 63 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Rook Weaver. And in the blue corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Sheriff Kerbin.
So both
Your
these,
referee is John Ensor.
both these boys are in the junior male 63 kilogram class. Both Aucklanders, so they will know each other. They would...
Well, if you look at the corners too, a bit of a showdown, you know. You got Isaac Peach and Nabbies. Always good to see these gyms up against each other, and this is going to be an absolute banger of a final. 63 kilograms. Rook Weaver in the red, Sharif in blue. Expect to hear the coaches screaming. Along with the crowd, of course.
Calling the ref is calling the boxers in, giving them his final instructions. Listen to me, young fellas. This is the way it's going to operate. I'm the boss here, but go and show us what you've got.
You know, we're jumping up to again from 52 to 63 kilograms. That height, they look absolutely massive in the around only 63.
Yeah, exactly.
Rook there in the red, Sharif in blue.
You know, they both had similar numbers of fights. Sharif has had 7.
Look at the speed here of Rook, you know, his
And
jabs.
Rook has had 11. I'm sure you're enjoying watching this on Sky Sport Next as much as we are enjoying presenting it to you. Big day again tomorrow. I'll just keep repeating this as tomorrow kicking off our early session at 2 o'clock. And then our evening session is at 5 o'clock. So make sure you put that into your diary. I've already rung my mum. She's 90. I said, Mum, make sure it's on.
Follow the link. Here's the link.
Here's the link. Get into it.
Just send her a calendar invite and she'll just accept. Go from there. 1 minute down, 2 minutes to go. Look at the stance here of Rook, tight, ready to pounce. What are your thoughts on that stance? Man, he's just ready to pop at any time.
Yeah, and I was watching Rook there. He's for a tall fighter, he's ducking down a little bit, but I think it's working for him because he's just slipping Sharif's jab on the inside there a couple of times and managing to pop his head up. But it's a really good bout, and both boxers aren't afraid to show hands.
Sharif, just as we said today, he's got a bit of speed. He landed a few, as you were saying, that it's a very evenly contested match. Nice right overhand there from Rook, though. Super speedy.
Yeah, but watch Rook as well. He's also going down low. He's actually getting into the body and then coming up, and he's doing it in that little combination.
Look at the speed. He's a little bit more rigid. I mean, Sharif is just fluid. He's throwing a little bit quick. He's throwing these combinations, but it's a well-contested match. Very stylistic.
Nice left hook there from Sharif. Just landed there on the top of Rook's head.
Nice overhand there from Sharif to finish the round. Too close to call.
Too close to call.
As we're getting close to the end of our day, we get a chance to shout out to some of the people that have been working here. The Wellington Hutt Valley Boxing Association for actually hosting the event here in Porirua. And I think the organising committee, I've been involved in a lot of events over the years, a huge number of events. I would have to say the organisation that's gone into this is absolutely outstanding, if not one of the best I've ever been involved with. Nothing's a problem to the organisers.
Oh, it's around the clock. We're getting mails, calls at 11 p.m, 2 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m.
Yep. Brilliant.
Round the
So
clock.
anyway, I'll give them a round of applause. I think they've done a wonderful job. And also we can't forget our camera crew and our production team that are sitting out in the open outside broadcast vehicles.
Seconds out now as we get ready for the final 63 kilograms. Rook Weaver in the red, Sharif there in the blue. Once again, that crouching style, ready to pounce at any minute.
Nice style with jab there from both of them.
These guys are going to war.
Here we go.
Yeah. Sharif is actually still able to get those combinations going, hitting the body, and his head movement's exceptionally quick.
Really, really, really great. It's quite interesting. We see a short exchange, and then both fighters are just taking a step back. They're assessing each other, and then there's another flurry.
Nice little jab there from Rook.
Sport's starting to wind up. Oh, hang on, they're both from Auckland, so...
Oh, what a display. I mean, you got to love it when they're both throwing and ducking and weaving. Really, really hard fight to call here. The judges have got their work cut out for them.
We keep saying, Manny, that these boxers go in, they try and beat each other half down, but they'll give themselves a man hug, a handshake, and then they'll probably go out the back and share a Coke.
That's right. I'm not sure if this is a final, so I'm sure they can have a Coke afterwards. But
yeah.
If it was a semi-final, definitely not. But the sportsmanship throughout the tournament has been absolutely exceptional.
Just when you think one's ahead too. I mean, look, sometimes I think Rook is landing more of the harder shots, but then Sharif comes through with a few of his own. Such a hard fight to call. Beautiful
Nice
jab there.
So there's the 10-second clapper as we're ready to finish up round number 2. In the 63-kilogram class. So you've got 2 minutes, boys.
Isaac Peach will certainly be giving some words of encouragement, words of wisdom as we get ready for the third and
polite
final.
way of saying it?
Yeah, he'd probably be screaming something, but same for Nabbies as well. Everything's on the line here. You would have had those talks in between rounds, Manny. What do they say to you?
Yeah, so it's sometimes tough because they give you a bit of pointers on how you can improve your game with them, and also, they're watching the other fighter as well, where there's sort of weaknesses and gaps that you can probably step into there. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but I think this first 2 rounds are really, really, really even. So I'm expecting to see a bit of fireworks in this last 2 minutes here.
Hard fight to call too. I mean, if you could go either way, what would you choose, guys?
I've said, where's that 50-cent coin?
Round 3.
No, seriously, I mean, because the calibre of the boxing is just getting, as we go through this weekend, it's just getting better and better and better. So I felt that Sharif had, a good part of round number 1, but Rook's come back and said, no, don't forget about me. I'm here. I'll stand in front of you.
And as you say that, Rook straight away leads with a nice double jab there.
Both boys, Rod. No jabs. These are just straight hooks. Right, left, right. Tell him to use the proper side of the glove there.
Yeah.
Certainly worthy of a follow. Both boys standing right in the middle. Straight hooks, no jabs, just in the pocket.
Really good movement there from Rook. He's just moving his head there.
Oh, and a couple of beautiful body shots from Rook too. Keep your head up.
You can see the judges too, they're staring intently. They're watching. Every single point counts in fights like these.
The chant goes up. Now, did that look like that gave that punch from Rook? See Sharif just take that little bit of that one got me a bit.
And Rook is just walking Sharif down there. And it's quite interesting to see both boxers are feeling the pressure a little bit. Their hands are starting to drop a little bit low.
Beautiful display of aggression though. This is a boxing bout, but they're just throwing hooks. One, they get into the corner, they're standing and bagging in the middle. This is an absolute war. Beautiful uppercut there from Rook.
Yeah, he's, as I say, they're going to get that 10-second capper, and it's all going to, I think it's just going to be fireworks. It's just going to go ballistic.
Isaac will be screaming, Nabby's be screaming, who wants this more? 5 seconds to go. Big shots.
That was almost like Simon. And again, here we go. Good on you, mate. Yeah, I love you.
I think they really had fun there.
Mark Fuller to the ring,
Yeah, they
please.
certainly did. And for such a pugilistic sport, good camaraderie shown afterwards. There's a hug, handshake, but let's see who takes it. How do the judges score this one?
Well, I don't see it being unanimous.
I thank Lawrence for that saying. We're going to use that all weekend. Flip the coin.
Flip the coin. But of course, we'll be flipping the coin a lot tomorrow here on Sky Sport Next. So make sure you put in your alarm clock on your phone to make sure you get everything ready to fire up, because we'll be back on air again at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon as opposed to 1. And our evening session will be at 5 o'clock. So we'll just head down. I think judge's decision is in. We'll go down to Vinny.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Rook Weaver. The medals will be presented by Mark Fuller. Mark is the Canterbury head coach. Mark was born under Shining Star. And Mark is a former male model. Mark is a former male model.
Wow.
Along with our ring announcer.
2019 New Zealand champ, now 220.
Put your hands together one more time, please, for both fighters.
Rook Weaver. Now with the 2021, is he going to go for a third in a row? Let's see. What a performance though from Rook.
And you can see there how much it means to him.
Oh, absolutely. He's a happy chap. And not to be outdone, of course, we're about to take our final bout for the night.
Isaac Peach will be happy. What a performance, and for these guys to put it all on display tonight on Sky Sport Next. So good for everyone watching back home.
Well, not to be outdone, of course.
Boxers to the ring, please.
We've got our ladies out for night. We'll head down to Vinny to do the announcers. But this is going to be a good matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a finals bout contested in the junior female 66 kilo division. In the red corner, representing Canterbury Boxing Association, Neve Enright. And in the blue corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Elizabeth Tuifua. Your referee is Paul McSherry.
So this is the final bout for what has been a big day for everyone concerned here at the National Championships for 2020 New Zealand Boxing. Neve Enright, a very impressive record, another Cantabrian. She's Australian Golden Gloves champion 2019, Canterbury Championship 2020, South Island Golden Gloves champion back in 2020, and North Island champ in 2019.
What a fight this is going to be. This is going to be a 2-2 or 3x2, 66 kilogram. Neve. Big shout out to mum and dad too. They are in full support of this fight. And she just wanted to make a special shout out there, but Elizabeth there in the blue. They have a big backing behind her.
Out of the Phoenix Boxing from Auckland.
We talked about styles make fights, and look at Neve. She's coming out aggressive, trying to show that dominance early.
It was interesting earlier when we were talking to Dr. John Mackay how he said early in the piece with women getting into boxing he wasn't so keen on it. Has done a complete 180 and said no. He didn't think physiologically they could cope, but now he said no, there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Oh, absolutely, and you can see that both fighters have two little different styles here. We've got Neve coming out quite strong, not afraid to throw left and right, and we've also here got Elizabeth moving around, throwing her shoulders around, just making Neve miss. So it's quite good to watch.
Well, anyone too that says physiologically that they couldn't compete, they just need to jump in and do a couple of rounds. You know, Giovanna, Troy Garden, they're going to give anyone a hard time. Even Manny, if you jumped in with Giovanna Perez, WBO champ, I'm sure he should give you a few hard shots.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of hard shots, this is for the New Zealand national title, 3x2, 66 kilograms. Neve there in the red, Elizabeth in the blue. Loving what I'm seeing here from Neve too. You know, she's walking forward, straightforward punches in a no-nonsense style.
She's crowding Elizabeth up, isn't she? She's sort of trying to control the centre of the ring. Elizabeth's got to try and decide which way she's going to go for it.
Yeah, she's just smothering it at this stage. And, you know, Elizabeth, 220 North Island Golden Glove and 220 Auckland champ. Surprised she's not moving more angles to make it a little bit more difficult for Neve.
But in saying that, look at her. She's just coming straight back in.
Good round. Good round. I'm not going to call that one. I'm going to go over to you, Manny. What are your thoughts on how that went, and what's the scoring behind this one?
I think that Neve slightly turned the pressure up there a little bit, and I think if Elizabeth comes out strong in the second round, it'll be even.
Both fighters deciding to stand between rounds.
Highlight there of the very colourful Venom boxing boots.
Yeah, there's been a couple of classic gold ones floating around. Look good on the dance floor.
Yeah, well, we've seen a few dance moves, especially Tafua. He's been one of the highlights of this this Nationals tournament.
Seconds out, round 2.
Well, we've been enjoying the 118th New Zealand National Championships here at the Rapaha Arena in Porirua City. And if you're an international viewer, it's about 25 minutes north of the Wellington City, our capital. And I know we're international. We've got people in Hungary who've been following us for the last couple of days.
Look at the way Neve walks forward, just showing dominance here. She throws that jab out, trying to set up for something else. She's standing so square on as well, which is a good display of power and ring control.
And I think it's just showing how confident she is feeling. She's sort of felt Elizabeth out and said, "Hey, look, I'm taking control here, and I'm not afraid to show you what I got."
Nice little slips there, though, from Elizabeth. Even though she is getting walked down or backwards, she's showing great movement.
Yeah, but the distance that Elizabeth's having to cover, Neve's controlling that centre of that ring, and she's making Elizabeth literally go around the ring one direction and then sort of swinging back. And then if she can pin her in a little bit, Neve is not taking a back step. She's coming forward very quickly.
Yeah, good point. Like, she is moving back, but she's been slipping a few of those punches. Make it a little bit of a slip. Oh, a couple of knocks to the head while one knee was down, but nothing too sinister there as Paul McSherry has a quick wedge and they go back to it.
Yeah, Elizabeth's got to be very careful here because she's, as I say, using up a lot of energy trying to get out of Neve's reach. And Neves just doesn't have to make that same amount.
I'm loving how Neves is showing, dominance, aggression, walking her down. But Elizabeth slipped in a couple of her own there. The judges will be looking at this, though, in favour of Neve. She is walking Elizabeth down, showing dominance.
So literally 2 minutes to go for these young boxers. Just in between, as you're watching these highlights, as we're getting close to finalising up our day, we're going to just show you a couple of beautiful trophies. That's the Teddy Morgan Trophy that is going to be available. I think I'm just going to have a look down and see whether he was an Olympic champion. He was, I've been told in my headset, so that's all good. And these are what the boxers and competitors are going to be receiving tomorrow. When it's all over and done with, they've got a display down here. And if you are in Wellington, around the Wellington Porirua area, Parapara Umu, you can get down.
Seconds out,
get down
round
to
3.
the Thurapa Arena here in Porirua City and come and watch some live boxing. If you've never seen it before, it is actually worth it. The atmosphere in the stadium is fantastic. And as I said, you're going to see some absolutely amazing talent. If not, you're doing exactly what you're doing now, sitting on your couch with Sky Sport Next. And you can tell them that between myself, Brent Perry and Isaac Savage, you don't have to mow the lawns tomorrow, you can have a day off.
Get a box of Coca-Colas or cold ones, get the chips, get the snacks ready because it's going to be an action-packed day. Speaking of action though, we're now heading into the final 1.5 or 1:30 for this New Zealand national title against Neve there in the red, Elizabeth in the blue. Great display of boxing from both these ladies so far. Manny, you talked about earlier, Neve showing that confidence, walking her down. Do you think she's edging forward now, being able to just walk Elizabeth down for most of the rounds?
Yeah, and I think what I'd really like to see from Neve is just to cut those angles off because she is giving Elizabeth a bit of open space to move around that ring. And I think if she would cut a little bit more of those angles off, it would give her a little bit more accuracy in some of those combos.
1 minute down, 1 minute to go. Paul McSherry saying, keep that up. Keep that guard up, keep those hands up. Very experienced referee himself, Paul McSherry.
Nice wee combo there from Elizabeth. She's not afraid to let her hands go.
Not too long to go now. We're coming up to the 30 seconds. Who wants to take this title home? Red or blue? Both throwing down.
There's some very excited fans down there. That might be a mum or a dad. Mum down there of one of the boxers, I think. She's on her feet. She's going crazy. They're going to get that 10-second clapper, and you know what's going to happen. It's going to be fireworks. Here we go. Who wants it more?
What a fight this is. They're both throwing down.
What a great finish there from Elizabeth.
Trish
really
Howie to the ring, please.
Wow, that support is still going. As we get ready now for the judge decision, what a display, and the camera's on them. That's certainly loud supporter. There she is.
She was going.
She's making up for around 15, 20 people with that support. What support we have here for Elizabeth. But hey, what a fight that was, guys. I mean, great show of dominance from Neve. Elizabeth.
Yeah, I think I would be going towards Neve on that. I think she did a lot of work controlling the centre of the ring, making sure it was all wet. We'll head down to Vinny for our judge's decision.
We have a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner, representing Auckland Boxing Association, Elizabeth Tuifua.
There you have it.
The medals will be presented by Trish Howie. Trish is the Assistant Supervisor of the New Zealand Champs, the Secretary of the Auckland Boxing Association, the President of the Referees and Judges Association, and the first woman referee and judge in the Southern Hemisphere with 40 years in boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, as well as these last two boxers, that was our final bout. Please put your hands together for all the fighters in this session.
Well, what could be surprising for some, that's the way the judges saw it.
I have to say, I'm gazumped. I thought that Neve had done enough in all 3 rounds.
I would agree also. I think that she sort of in the first round led the charge, dominated the centre of the ring, but sometimes, that's not what the judges look for. They look for points scored, and sometimes it's different.
Well, of course, that is us for the day. We're back again tomorrow, and starting at 2 o'clock and again at 5 o'clock. And on behalf of myself, Brent Perry, Isaac Savage, and of course all our guest announcers that have been joining us this afternoon, we wish you a very fine evening, and we'll look forward to catching up with you tomorrow.